Yo, what's up, Detroit? Is definitely in the building via your headphones, stereo, and speakers. Of course, it's your man's the African Caesar. This is the Sneaker Box Sunday evening show right here on Woodward Sports Network. And of course, I'm joined by part of the crew. We got the Katrina of the show, Gino.
I mean, I'm here.
Yeah, apparently my phone's here too. I'll turn my ringer off. And then, of course, we have the deacon of the show, Guru.
What's going on, good people? Glad to be here.
Yeah, you sound like it.
My son talk like this too, man. I didn't know until like you have kids and you get to see. I was like, cause
he looked like you too.
Dog.
He was like, I was like, hey man, you got the Space Jam T-shirt and everything. He was like, yeah, I'm happy. That's
your son.
So are now you actually understanding why he is little Guru?
Yeah, that's like, oh yeah.
That's all the DNA test you need right there. Yeah. No, he looks just like you. He look like
he act like he's got your mannerisms too.
Actually, you know, the DNA test makes sense because I'm a nerd, so I looked at the results. I have, out of all the chromosomes, I have like about 95% of them. He got like 3 or 4 from his mom, but all of them said mine.
This just got real deep out of nowhere.
Yeah. Guru was like Piccolo. He just spit out an egg.
Yeah, so.
I mean, that's what's up.
Yeah,
that's the best way to follow that up.
But it gains clarity. Like, okay, your child looks like you, acts like you when you look at the test. Like from a genetic standpoint, like, okay, yeah, this is why he's.
So you would have questioned it prior to?
No, I wouldn't question it. Of course not.
Just I gotta say though, as a father though, it is cool seeing. I mean, obviously seeing a spitting image of yourself, but then also seeing them pick up characteristics of your personality.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, they're hearing it's not just your looks, they're hearing your behavior too.
Yep.
Yeah, because my daughter, she's into art and drawing specifically, which is something I was into when I was growing up. And so, I mean, she's taking it well beyond where, the stuff she's doing, I'm like, yo. But the proudest moment as a father I have with her was she was trying to teach herself how to crochet. Right, just crochet, yeah. And so she was, she watched TikTok all day, so I guess she picked it up from there. And so she was teaching herself. She was looking at videos and stuff, and she was getting so flustered and frustrated. And so I told her, take a break, calm down, and then come back to it. Man, I wake up the next morning, she didn't crochet a whole bag, like purse type thing. And I was so proud of her because she stuck to it, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She went back and she figured it out on her own, and it was just like, those are the simple pleasures that I have as a father, watching her achieve or overcome things. So
yeah,
that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
My son did that with a Hot Wheels. He had a.
I thought we should have saved this episode for a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, probably so.
But now that was my son had took. He had asked for this Hot Wheels track. Like he got the freeway that loop around. It looks like 96 in Southfield, and then he got the double wheels, like the double.
Hold up, does it have construction?
Yeah, you gotta have the barrels up.
Yes, because he takes it apart every week. So, just like 75.
At least 2 out of 3 lanes are closed.
It's like actually 75 and 96 because he takes apart the track every week. So it's like 75. But he doubled and he got it, and then like I had going to work when I came back, and he was like, "Yeah, I put it together." He just looked at the paper, he couldn't figure out from the paper, so he turned the box over, and put it together from how the box looked.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's kind of what my daughter's done as well. Mm-hmm. Like, you buy like the little Lego box sets, like anything like princess wise. She doesn't wait for me to put it together. She just goes and just figures it out and puts it together herself, and then it's like, okay, Daddy, I'm done. And it's like, well, shit, we're supposed to do it together.
She did that when I couldn't, man. So I don't know how many summers ago is this, and I promise we'll get the sneakers later, but. I wanted to, I remember I could not wait until it got warm outside so I could teach her how to ride a bike. And I swear to God, like the first time she got on, she was just out. Like, I can't even get on. I'm like, no, like, what? I turn around and she just halfway down the block, and I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was happy, but at the same time, I did kind of want to have that experience of, teaching
watching her fall?
Helping her and stuff.
Okay.
No, I don't want her to fall.
I was going to say, like, honestly, I feel like that to me, that's more of the goal or the dream is she just got on the bike and she just knew what to do and was able to do it. No, I'm saying,
I was happy, but at the same time, I did want that experience of having to, hold her and, especially with fathers with daughters, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you baby them more than you would your son.
Yeah.
By the way, that T-shirt is hard. I gotta tell you.
Oh, thank you.
Did you give him a compliment?
Yeah, that shirt. I love the office.
Hold up, you actually got.
I give Guru compliments.
Make sure we like take a snip of this. Yeah, we have to. Like this never happens.
No, like okay, America. Like this ain't the first time I complimented Guru. I just gave Guru a compliment last week.
We gonna check the tape. We
it was off camera. It was
exactly.
But it was still a compliment.
Exactly.
It still counts.
Okay. All right. Whatever, man.
I say he is a pillar of the show. He is the Peter. Like you know, Peter was the rock of the church. He is the rock of the show.
So who are you?
Of course, I'm Christ. I mean, that equation. If we're using that analogy,
on Sunday afternoon.
If I did just send this link out, I would walk off.
Oh man,
I just send that link.
Okay, wait, hold on. All right. So then, who am I?
You be Mary Magdalene. I don't know. What the
we know
John.
We know who Judas would be.
Yeah, I'm just here to just do this show and talk about sneakers and give my 2 cents.
No,
I mean they wore sneakers too back then.
Nah,
would you call those sneakers? Oh,
I'm sure they did.
I gotta say, so I posted a picture earlier on our IG earlier this week, and it was supposed to be a joke. It was like a museum exhibit of like,
oh yeah, you definitely called flack for that one.
And I was like, oh, look at this upcoming Yeezy collection, and like overwhelmingly people thought it was legit. Like they was like, oh, that's the new. I'm like, when you get to a point where I can post that and you legit think that that's a real collection coming out, that's a problem.
I mean, one of them,
and that speaks to everything I've said.
The one on like the far right,
yeah,
kind of looked like a.
They all look Yeezy-ish.
No. That one on the far right, that one really looked like Yeezy.
No, they all look Yeezy-ish. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they.
That's where the inspiration came from.
I'm just saying, like it's funny. I'm like, dog, like I can show you shoes that are like, you know, like somebody found 1,000 years later under some sand, and you know, you will legit think that those are some new Yeezys coming out next year. Like that's sad.
So my question is going to be,
which speaks to what I said.
I don't think it's so much of it looking like the Yeezy models. I think it's a testament to the lack of knowledge, and that you can post something.
Oh, definitely that too.
And the fact that you can post something and people just roll with it, not even like, okay, let me do the homework myself, or let me check this out. Like, oh, that's a Yeezy collection. Like,
but they even believe like
that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's just that's how. And now I know why people get in the sneaker community and brands do what they do, because it's so many people who don't know what's really going on. They really just plug into the matrix when they get in to buy sneakers. They're like, okay.
Well, that's why we say that. That's why we say that Yeezy following. They're literally sheep. I mean that was the proof.
I couldn't post that and like, look at the new Jordan collection. People be like, get the fuck out of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because people know better. I can only do that with that. But shout out to Brooklyn Box Club, by the way. I didn't want to have that comment go unnoticed. But I agree with you, dog. I mean, to Guru's point, though, like, and to Gino's point, I mean, I guess we all saying the same thing. People can't be sheep. And this speaks to what I'll be saying as far as people buy shoes off of name recognition or brand recognition sometimes. And to me, that's sad, especially when, I don't know if did that happen to us, or is this somebody else where they asked, I think Guru said somebody asked them what shoes should they buy. And I felt like, yo, like that's a question. Like if you're trying to figure out what a good basketball shoe is, what's a good performance shoe, that's different. But if you asking me what shoe should you buy strictly for fashion, that's when it becomes a problem.
I can respect the question, because they say, hey, I'm trying to get into sneakers. What should I buy? And I tell them, if you go in the store and you like it, that's what you buy. That's what sneakers is about.
But I feel like that's something you should have inherent in you already.
But if people not in the sneaker community and they're trying to become a part of it,
but
I respect you doing
that. But no, that's my point though. Like, but why would it matter though? Like, wear whatever you want to wear.
Exactly.
No. I'm just
like, if you're trying to get in the sneaker community, like, just wear sneakers.
Just go buy a pair.
But for this one, my thing, but some people just don't know. Like, okay, how do I? Because what happens is we'll say that, and then we'll see somebody on the court with some Jordan 1 mids on, like, or some Brooks on. They be like, "What are you doing?" You know what I'm saying? But I don't have no problem with that. If people asking me, people ask, "Hey, what should I buy?" And I say, "Hey, when you go in the store, these shoes are like this. This is what buy what you like. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I mean,
That's all I'm saying.
But that's one of the things that made the whole sneaker community always fun was the fact of individuality. Like when you put on a pair of whatever, like we can shit on whatever shoe we want to.
But it's mostly out of fun too, though. Like it's never serious.
It is. But when people put that shoe on and they wear it with confidence, like that's really what the sneaker community is about.
And sometimes you put people up on some stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like what are those? And then it's.
I'd rather for somebody to ask me what shoe should I buy than they look on Instagram and see everybody with Jordan 1s on.
I get your point to a degree, like as far as like if I'm trying to build a sneaker collection, like there are certain shoes, like me personally, I feel like there are certain shoes as a collector you should have. Like you should have some Chuck Taylors, you should have.
But see, I disagree with that.
Some like I'm talking about as far as collector.
I think that's
purposes.
also geographical. Because if you're from the South, you better have some feelers. You better have this type of shoe.
Because I'm looking at it from
LA. You better have
bright as hell.
No, I'm saying, but I'm looking at it from a historic standpoint. Like, okay, like significant sneakers, you know what I'm saying, throughout history. So that's why I have a pair of Chuck Taylors. That's why I went and got the Converse weapons. And you know what I'm saying, like as a collector, like I get like like some people just getting shoes just just to look cool, and that's fine too. But as somebody who's trying to balance both, where like I buy the shoes I like, but at the same time it's like I want to preserve that history. Like I could see somebody be like, what are significant sneakers if I was to be a collector? Like what are significant sneakers to go by? Obviously Jordan 1s.
Now see that question, if the question was posed that way,
yeah,
I think that's a respectable way
to
kind of like,
and that's what I'm saying.
Phrase
like,
it.
Yeah, but if you asking me like hey, I'm trying to buy shoes, what do you like? Like what's your favorite color? Like what like
hey, you gotta do it like you talking to a chick for the first time. What's your favorite color?
I mean, do you say that to a chick for the first time?
I don't even think I care. When I was a kid, like like
I mean, you would, because if it came time to buy or something, you would have
you would know.
True.
Yeah. See, we talked about sneakers. See, it came.
Yeah, it came full circle. Yeah. So yeah, that's all we do here. Anyway, we got a number of things we'll talk about. Obviously, the Space Jam movie came out, and the reaction to it. I love social media because you can literally get a broad range of reactions, and I think the reaction has been probably the dumbest reaction I've ever seen. Like
I feel like it's like a mixed reviews what I've seen.
It's a lot of I'm just saying like the negative reviews.
It's like none.
It's just for kids. Like why? You know what I'm saying? Like I had no expectations of it because I'm a grown ass man. I knew they did not make that movie for me.
Nah, not at all.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, not. There are some movies where you can kind of go in as an adult, like they'll add to a movie that you grew up as a kid, where you can kind of have. They still made it for the kids, but as an adult, you can still have fun. But once again, my expectations were. I even said it. I think it was last show. I'm like, my daughter is probably going to go see this, and I would probably go see it with her. Outside of that, I probably won't see it.
No, I mean,
but I wouldn't knock it because I haven't seen it. So and I'll be the first to tell you the first movie wasn't that great. Like going back and watch it.
Well, looking back on it, but when you were a kid, though.
Oh yeah, as a kid,
you thought it was awesome,
right? And the kids probably think it's awesome, and that's all that matters, right? If your kids love it, hey.
Yeah, I know the hate. Like I already knew, like LeBron hate is whatever it is, but I knew it reached another level when they was on Undisputed and Skip Bayless asking, "Will this movie stain his resume?" When that became a topic on there, and they're literally going back and forth about it, I'm like, okay.
Why would that stain his resume?
They didn't have much to talk about. You gotta remember that too. But not really much going. I mean, it's only one main thing happening in sports right now.
I'm sorry. They could have talked about their kids like we did.
That was just terrible. That's the producers because the critics were saying.
Skip don't have kids, dude.
No, I don't think so. No, he got a dog. He just got a dog.
And Ernestine.
So I think it's like a critic was like, "Oh, I saw this, and I never seen anything like this." Yeah, that's terrible. But it's just like, come on,
get Botox.
He probably did get it. It just probably didn't work. It failed.
Nah, bro, they must have ran out of Botox. Nah,
but you got that, and you got Stephen A. getting called out for one messing up with talking about Shohei Ohtani, and then the disrespect to the Nigerian national team. So.
That's what happens when you just used to talking reckless and you ain't never been checked. You know what I'm saying? Like,
are we the only debate show that can we're correct. We don't disrespect anybody.
But no, I think first of all, I think we talk. Listen, I speak for myself. I talk way reckless a lot, but a lot of times I be saying it in jest. I be jovial with it. Like I'm not dead set. Listen, I'm not. Ain't no hill on this show worth dying on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take anything too seriously. Hopefully nobody takes it that seriously either.
I thought you
have
were supposed to
fun.
say ain't no mountain high enough. That's what I thought you were trying to say.
You've been talking about doing a Motown shoot for the longest, so
I
that
know,
would have been
but
like a good little segue.
I
Right?
thought that was
What's
coming.
that game where you gotta guess what the person is saying? Like I don't want to play that game
Charades?
with you. Yeah, I don't want to play that with Guru.
was hilarious.
You would be the what's my man Rick? You would be the Rick of charades. I would get so frustrated.
Bro, that was hilarious. Yeah,
But no, man. I don't know. Sneaker culture can be funny sometimes, but to that point about his legacy, that's the dumbest question. The only thing I would say about if you want to make some type of argument, I wish they come up with a different basketball movie because I grow tired of the LeBron and Michael Jordan comparisons, and when you make a Space Jam 2, there's going to be comparisons, and it's like I just. Speaking of which, I did post a picture. I knew what the answer was. I posted a picture about what shoe. And, because the previous post that we had that conversation about the Space Jam and LeBron 19s, people were like, there were some people who were pissed, like, oh, you guys are hating. I'm like, who's hating? Like, you know what the problem is?
We hate it?
No. If you go back and watch the video, we were like, yo, this ain't...
Because I know I for sure said that shoe ain't bad, but that should have been a kid's shoe.
We all
Don't
said
look
we like the
adult
LeBron.
shoe.
What I've noticed is people see the title and don't watch the video, which is not surprising.
I watched the clip about it. I could see how some people feel like I wasn't rocking with it. You was like,
But
I think somebody
hating,
said something about the
hating.
look. But somebody said it looked like no grown man should wear this shoe or something like along
that was
those
probably
lines.
me that said that.
Yeah, so something along the line. So when people heard
Come
that,
on, bro.
they
Like,
took it.
you could tell that he was saying it like once again. He was being facetious when he said it. Problem is that I feel like a lot of times people feel like we have to justify their purchase, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, if you like the shoe, you like the shoe. It doesn't matter what I like.
I don't care. If y'all could call, there's some shoes y'all can't stand. I like, and I'll wear them.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, but
If I'm a person watching that video,
but they do the same thing. They wear
What?
Yeezys. We constantly shit on Yeezys.
dog, that's what I'm saying.
I have no problem with Yeezys like that.
Wear them.
You
You know what I'm
y'all
saying?
don't have the problem more so. Y'all have more so with the people who like the shoe.
Exactly.
Than the shoe
And it's become a punching bag on the
So
show.
that's
Have
what
fun with
it
it.
is. I don't have no problem
My
with
whole
it.
thing is this: like to people that like watch that and be like, "Oh, I'm mad now. They hating on my shoe." Dude, it's not that deep. It's a shoe. If you want them, buy them. I'm never gonna tell anybody what to buy. Now, if you ask me my opinion about a shoe, yeah, I'll give it to you. But I'm
Yeah, I
never
mean, I
gonna
understand. Like with the show, I wasn't mad when y'all posted. Like I know everybody's gonna say the Space Jam 11s because one, yeah, it looks better.
I was just being funny.
But two, people, like I was telling Gene earlier, like that shoe has aged well. So that shoe you have a metric to go off of that shoe. This shoe ain't even came out yet, so you don't know how it is when it releases or how it will age. So
That's
like, I
true.
understand. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it
And to
is.
me,
you know,
but
go ahead.
to me, that's always the unfair comparison is the fact that at least with the Jordan line, he doesn't play anymore, so we know we're not going to see anything 1 through 18 what he played in.
Yeah.
The LeBron is still playing, so so his shoes have not had a chance to really age like how Jordan's
100%. And I would say this too, in terms of the two shoes. Like I will say the LeBron 19 takes on more of the theme of Space Jam. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Shit, I bet
if you
you
look
would
at
feel
a Jordan
better
11
too.
Space Jam, like there's nothing Looney Tune-ish about it except for the original pair where it had Jam on it. Why they didn't have that on the pair for 2016, I don't know. That was just dumb.
playoff PE that they marketed as a Space Jam.
That was just dumb. Well, I'm just saying, if you're gonna do all that, I mean, dog, if they put Jam on it, that would have been the perfect Air Jordan 11, but they didn't. Whatever. Point is, like I said, like I didn't hate the LeBron 19. As a matter of fact, I even said I like most LeBrons. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said,
So
I bet you the performance is better than in that LeBron.
Yeah, and I try to tell people,
in that Jordan
Oh, yeah.
11,
Oh, I
like, you
bet
know
you
what I
it's
mean?
better
Like,
money.
The greatest, I tell people the greatest, I say analogy you can use with shoes now and then is like cars. Like a Ferrari will go faster than a car from back in the day, but a car from back in the day was built to last longer than a Ferrari now.
Exactly.
That's the same thing. Like things call for different metrics now. Now people who race, they like handling better. Back then it was all about acceleration.
Yep.
It's the same thing right now. Like Jordan was 6'6", 230, 230, right? LeBron 6'8", 260. So his shoe got to be made differently because
Exactly.
it's different
100%.
requirements. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's just like those are the type of things when I look at it. It's just like when I first seen the shoe, I'm like,
But you know what?
But I also
That's
looked
called
at
nuance. People don't have that anymore.
But also stated this at the SneakerCon in Cleveland 2016. They're now separating the road, then the LeBron 19s and signature models now, they strictly want you to buy them for performance.
Yeah.
And we want you to buy these LeBron 8s, these LeBron 7s, to rock like you rock your Jordans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they were made like that.
Yeah, 100%. One thing, because there was two things. That was the first thing I wanted to address on social media. The second thing I wanted to address on social media is there's a Kai situation. Somebody commented on the video we did way back when. And my whole point is that, because I really don't want to go too deep into it, but I will say this. As far as consistency, the way I look at it is, if I feel like a brand is copycatting, plagiarizing, counterfeiting, faking, bootlegging, whatever you want to call it, if I feel like a brand is doing that, I'm going to call them out. Adidas, Nike, whatever. So when I see somebody else doing it, I don't care if they're black or white, I'm calling them out on it. Second thing I would say to it is this. Because, like I said, talking to people in the industry and all this other stuff, like, I get wanting to support people, right? I get wanting to support a black brand. However, this person stole a logo from a black brand, so now you have a dilemma. Third thing I want to say is, excuse me, is, support doesn't just mean you blindly co-sign everything a person does. It also means that you constructively call them out or give them some type of constructive feedback when you see them, about to catch a case, And that's what I did. As a matter of fact, when I first heard the news that, Nike and Jordan Brand was looking at them, I actually reached out to Dev. I didn't even say anything on the show. We didn't talk about it on the show for a while. Mm-hmm. And I actually reached out to Dev because I was like, I was actually legitimately concerned. I'm like, okay, my man's, I'm hearing news that they're going after him, so let me reach out to somebody that knows him to give him a heads up. Now, what he does with that information is what he does with that information. And it wasn't until like a month ago that I finally said something about the situation. But long story short, I would say this is that I hope he doesn't get sued. But if he does, I hope the people that's been gassing him up will be there to also help him pay off them lawyer fees, and those court fees. Because like I said, y'all been duly warned. And so for people that continue to support that nonsense, hey, I hope y'all still there when it comes to pay the piper. And because it's real easy, because what I'm saying, like, basically I feel like a lot of people want the shoes and don't really care about what happens to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and that's the problem, because he's gonna be the one going to court, not everybody else. And so I'm like, so have that same energy. Like, if you want to support, also be there to support when he needs the help. Because, I wouldn't want to go to court.
I guess buying his shoe would help with that, because you could take those.
Oh yeah, buying the shoe would help. I'm just saying, like, for the people, I'm just saying, like, have that same energy. Also be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really want to support, and if he ends up in that situation, continue to support. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you can buy the shoe, but is it going to get shipped to you?
No,
right at that point, it's not going to be a shoe for you to buy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's real easy to sit there and say I support until it's really time to support. Because you're not really, you could say, I guess buying a product is a way to support, but you're getting something in return. You know what I'm saying? Like if Guru, like, for instance, there's been plenty of times where, like, I'll see, like, some little kid, they selling candy or something to, buy team jerseys or something, and I just get them money. I don't even want nothing. I'm just like, yo, here. Because now you have extra money, and so now that's extra candy for you to sell to other people. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, like, I see what you're doing for a good deed or a good cause. I don't need anything back in return. Here, if I got it, here. So I'm just saying, like, so I just want to put that to rest. But because somebody else was saying we were using our platform to tear them down, I'm like, dog, we keep it consistent. Like, and I was like, and to the point.
People, we and you were going back, because I had no problem with. I don't think nobody was tearing my stance. No. I felt like, what I said, but, like, to me, as someone who's been, like, watching fashion all along, especially being in retail, like, don't get into fashion if you don't want nobody to copy your stuff. Like 100%. That's why Ralph Lauren, people reverence Ralph Lauren like they do, because people borrowed the polo from him. So he was probably the first ones to make it popular. But Gucci made a polo, Mason Margiela made a polo, Nike made a polo. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's what it is in fashion, is to be the first person to do something so everybody can copy off you. That's how you make your name.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So look like. So
but I guess I would argue there's a difference between inspired by and straight up copying.
The polo was straight copy. He just switched the
like for instance, like Michael Jackson was definitely inspired by James Brown, but he was not a spitting image of James Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, he took elements of James Brown and added to it. And so that would be the example I use. Like if he just went out there and just went, hey, and just did every thing exactly.
Got a couple of them,
some of the stuff.
Mike got a couple.
No, I'm saying exactly. I'm saying exactly what James Brown did. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He took elements of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching a documentary, I think it was the Bad documentary, where like he was paying homage to it was a soul singer, I can't remember her name, but the Shimon, you know, he did the Shimon, like that was something she did. But him doing that only highlighted her. So that's what I mean as far as being inspired by, because you could take elements of somebody and build upon that, and a lot of times that shines a light on the person that you were inspired by, especially if they were unsung, because in that, you know, obviously Michael Jackson doing that would shed a light on her as opposed to the other way around. But
shoe brands is so competitive that people sometimes don't even acknowledge when someone is paying homage to them.
Right,
but it's so like not
but
even
you know what it makes me think of?
It's just so.
You know what it makes me think of? Because I remember when Virgil dropped those Louis Vuitton shoes that look like phone posits. What nobody saying? Oh, he's inspired by. Everybody was clowning them because they look like phone posits. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what I'm saying. Like be consistent. Like okay, like if that's the case, then like.
But I think the whole Cal situation, what really made it bad, was just when we found out that the lightning bolt came from, was it called Superb? Yeah.
And there's other things too. Shout out to Sneaker Fetish. Watch his video.
But it was that in particular because it was like, you know, everybody's made like their version of a Jordan 1. Like
I think that
happens.
I think it was more so not being intentional, stealing, not doing your due diligence and checking the trademark.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he really like, okay, I'm about to
run this. I'm not saying it like he ganked it, but it was like, you know, if you don't get into it, do your homework, make sure what you're doing is like proper and correct before you jump off into it.
I wouldn't even say it was malicious. Like at no point would I say there was malicious intent behind it. But like to Guru's point, do your due diligence. Like I said, Sneaker Fetish did a video on the whole situation. You know, there's other facts and revelations that add to at least how I view it. But long story short,
he started to be your David Aldridge, I see.
For me? I mean, in certain things, in certain instances. I mean, it takes the workload off of me, though, you know. But anyway, social media.
Are you still in stories?
Huh?
Are you still in stories?
I acknowledge every story I get, man. Hold on, like
no, that's his way of paying homage.
Yeah, exactly. I shout out people. I ain't say look at my video and it's like if I say look, I got a video dropping and it's literally word for word what Sneaker Fetish did, then yeah, that'd be a problem. But I shouted him. I said go check out his video. And while you're checking out his video, check out our social media. Check out our social media. Twitter, TSB_show. You can follow us on Instagram at @thesneakerbox_show. And then you can follow us on Facebook by looking up the Sneakerbox Radio Show page. And give us your feedback. You want to respond to something we said on the show. And I prefer that too. I can't wait till we get the phone lines up. I would prefer people like to call in or leave a voicemail because then like you can respond to it. Because sometimes words on a page, you don't get the cadence and vibe and tone behind it. But anyway, you can leave us a voicemail if there's any sneaker related comments or questions you have, or if there is anything you want to respond to that we said on the show. Feel free to call us at 248-677-1803 and we will respond to them on a future show. I guess we can get right into it. We got our Fab 5 sneaker releases from the previous week or of the week. What was the clip?
Buckle up.
Oh, shit.
After last week. Buckle up after last week.
Which Power Ranger shoe gonna be up there this time?
Click, click, click.
Shit, all of them except that question.
Oh, God. All right, let's see. hey, Guru, let's see what we working with this week.
Well, I mean, shit, it wasn't really nothing. I mean, it was pretty much all Space Jam this week. So, number 5.
Well, let's see how it got put together.
Space Jam Special Edition Converse Chuck Taylor.
I
ain't mad at that.
What I like about that shoe is you can't really tell. And I don't know if it's embossed or if it's like some type of 3M, but I like the print behind it. And that's just one side of the shoe. They got like the other. Each shoe comes with different characters on it, so I like that.
I saw somebody in the comments was like, "This movie didn't even take place in space." It was like, "Fool, it was cyberspace."
Wait!
You had to really break it down.
Wait! Hold up! Wait! Somebody really said that?
Yes, like this movie didn't take place in space. Like, bro, it was cyberspace.
Who's upset by
algorithm? Like, It made sense. It was a different angle from the space thing.
No, no, but I'm saying like
it was in the comments. People like, and the dude broke it down.
Listen,
like,
this ain't no Marvel movie. It's like I don't need this. I don't need a breakdown.
But even in the algorithm, like they still travel through a certain, but without giving the movie away. But yeah, I was just like, are you serious?
I know we just said we don't hate on people,
but the trailer told you that the trailer told you went through cyberspace. So
LeBron James,
it don't matter. Like, just let the title be what the title is.
Some things ain't meant to be dissected. Like LeBron James is playing basketball cartoon characters. That shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you go in there and want some type of reality oriented?
It's a cartoon. Who cares?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I was like,
yeah, that hate be unreal, bro.
That just sounds so dumb to me. And like, I'm not even the biggest LeBron James fan, but I feel like I'm in a position to defend because I'm like, this is so dumb.
Yeah,
this is stupid. Like, watch the movie. Shut up and watch the movie.
Oh man,
quit trying to find reasons to not like this movie. If you don't want to watch it, how about just not going to see it? If you know
it ain't got nothing to do with the movie though. It's just
I know that's LeBron James. Listen, if you know you have if you're predisposed to not liking anything LeBron does, why would you subject yourself to this movie? I don't. I
feel like the older critics who are older.
What's that mean now? My man go. I
feel like I saw some of the reviews from like the older Caucasian gentlemen. I'm like, you're not gonna like this because it's a black man with a black family in it.
Was it Stick?
A black villain? Nah, it wasn't Stick.
Stick probably liked the movie.
No, Stick hates LeBron.
But
he probably would have liked the movie.
But it was just like
we should do a bet. We make Stick watch Space Jam.
Of course, it was the basketball thing, but the other side was, being there for your kids. And
Stick versus Easy too. Whoever loses has to watch Space Jam too.
I mean, I watch Space Jam. I hate LeBron between the lines. Outside the lines, I think LeBron is a great human being, does good things for the community, builds fucking schools.
Respectable.
But in the lines, he's a bitch.
Wow. We know it's gonna be some comments on that.
Forget Easy versus Stick. It's gonna be Guru.
I can't argue with no John Crotty fans.
How dare you disrespect John Crotty?
No John Crotty fans.
John Crotty was the best.
He was hooping in New Balances before Kawhi. Oh, boy. He was hooping in New Balances before Kawhi. I would not argue with John Crotty fans. Number 22.
Go ahead. John Crotty looked dope in those teal unis. I don't care what you say.
Somewhere John Crotty is like, what?
That should be the name of the episode now.
Hey, that's going to the hashtags. John Crotty. Number 4, we have the Nike LeBron 18 Lola Bunny. Now, was this a women's?
That was a kid's.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes it even better now.
Yeah, they cool.
Yeah. Like I said, most releases this week were all like Space Jam.
Like I said, I'm not a fan of low top LeBrons, or especially not the 18 low. But I mean,
I don't even feel like his shoes are lows. I feel like they mids.
But that's cool. That's a cool shoe.
Yeah. I mean, it's like what, a centimeter shorter than the regular LeBron 18s.
Nah.
Yeah. It's just that back and the tongue is higher. That's it. The ankle div is the same.
Yeah. This next shoe, just to kind of break up the monotony of all these Space Jam releases, we have the Lego Special Edition Adidas Superstar. I actually thought that was kind of dope. Like, of all the Lego, releases that Adidas have done, this was actually pretty dope.
It's like sampling around the aisles. You can't really go too far. You can't get really too bad with it.
It's really hard to mess that up.
I was gonna say it really was. I mean, granted, we've seen.
I wouldn't be surprised though.
We've seen people succeed. But this was actually a clean pair of shoes, and I felt it. It was clean. It was dope. Now I don't know if you actually put pieces on the side. Why would you? I hope people aren't doing that.
If you smart, you would. You got some kids who play with Legos. You ever stepped on a Lego before?
Oh my god,
there ain't no pain.
That's
like
some of the worst pain
ain't
ever.
No pain like it.
Especially in the middle of the night when you're trying to avoid them, but you can't.
Or you will dodge in one Lego and step on a smaller one.
Yeah, I agree.
You think you can actually connect Legos to these shoes?
Yeah, I think you can on the side and the back.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's little rivets on there. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to because you're
gonna lose them.
Yeah, I know. It just seems pointless. What was the worst shoe that I hated that they did this? This was this was years ago. The Dover Street Market Air Jordan 1s when they had those lace tips that you could screw.
Oh, you could change off the lace tips?
Yeah.
The Dover Street, what shoe?
The Dover Street Air Jordan 1s. It was like all navy blue patent leather.
Oh.
The lace tips you could screw. And every person I know that has a pair, the lace tips eventually came off. They would just unscrew as you walked. And I was like, that's stupid. Just put the lace tips on like a normal fucking lace, like every other shoe. It was just, I don't know. It just, and I know it had to cost more.
I don't know why they don't have a site where now you can buy replacement laces for Nike. Like, I lost my laces for my Jordan 17s.
Ain't that one of the conversations we had?
Yeah.
Well, I know that what they did.
Because you're not finding those Jordan 11 laces nowhere,
nowhere, bro.
Yeah, you're not gonna find no authentic ones. I know they did kind of start like in some of the Nike stores. They started selling like just plain Nike branded laces. Like if you messed up like a white pair of laces, and at least had the white Nike, the black Nike swoosh on the lace tip. I mean,
but even like the different size laces. Like I know, because I was like one of the only people to buy the Weatherman Kyrie 7s. And like the laces were like flat, they were kind of narrow, and just trying to find laces because I was gonna swap out the green laces with black, and I ended up taking them back. So I was just like,
you end up just going on the swoosh account and just ordering them or something.
Motherfucker.
So you took the Weatherman's back. So that's where that tropical storm came from.
Oh yeah, because that's what it rained. You bought the shoes.
So that it all makes sense now. I get it now.
Exactly, it makes sense now.
I got jokes. Number 2,
we got Kai Rokers on. Go ahead.
We have the.
And that'd be a good one. Oh, God damn it, you gave him a good idea. I hope they don't use it.
Oh man.
Kai Rokers.
All right, so number 2, we have the Air Jordan Retro 1 High OG Electro Orange.
I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Personally, I was just like,
if you're gonna give us this, you might as well give us a Nike ID.
Real talk. That's probably the best.
I was gonna say with the array of Jordan 1s that's coming out, especially recently.
This looks like such a Nike ID.
I didn't. The quality was nice. I had no beef with it.
It just looks weird to me.
I'm happy they didn't throw the name Shattered Backboard on there.
You know they wanted to. The temptation was too strong.
Because it would have been so easy to do so.
You just know they wanted to, man. What they call Electro Orange.
They said Electro Orange, but when they sent it to the blog, say Shattered Backboard. 3.0.
Well, the blog's like, you know how that happens.
That would have been what, 4.0?
Yeah, it would be 4.0. So 1.
That's crazy.
Well, they got the 4.0, the lows?
No, these are the 4.0.
Those would have been the 4.0s.
The first one was the original 3.0. The second ones were
the 3.0 was the orange chicken grease.
Because they didn't have that.
Third ones was the patent leather joints.
The chicken grease.
It didn't have that insole. Like that's why I was just kind of like. That's why I didn't call them the 3.0s. I got why everybody did, but.
That's crazy though that they took one idea in typical Nike, they just beat the shit out of it year after year.
See, let them do it with the up tempos,
and they and they haven't stopped yet.
And they brought back a shoe that they came out with 2 years ago.
Wow,
I'm looking like the white and reds.
Oh,
they brought them back twice. The black and red ones came out last year. They brought them back.
And the white and reds they went up what about $15 on? Are they 175 retail?
Bro, they shoe came out 2016. They brought it back. The black and reds came out a year ago, 2 years ago, and they brought them back again.
You know it's about to come back out again later on this month. Probably right. Wouldn't be surprised. The Olympic one.
Hey, shorty. Hey, baby girl. I'm thinking about you.
Let's.
You know I'm busy.
Whatever. Shy, we can go. I got my Bulls jersey on, so we can go to Shy anytime.
Whatever. Stick. The code's still the same for the call in. I thought it was 9 something. No. Oh boy, text it to me.
You've been giving people the wrong number.
Yeah, I did.
Damn.
Text it to me. Anyway, number 1, we have the Nike LeBron 18 low Wile versus Roadrunner. I thought these were dope.
You ain't like the Air Force Ones, the Lola Bunnies or the chips?
The Lola Buns was just basic as hell. They just threw Lola Bunny on the side.
The Air Force One chips was dope though. The black ones with the chip on.
They weren't bad. I just wasn't amused by them.
I'd take them over the Converse.
And I was going to say, you probably could have put that over the Converse.
I don't know about I like the Converse. I thought it was.
You like the Converse because it's a Converse.
You like the Converse because you're on Converse payroll.
God damn it. I hate the fact. I hate the fact that I even fed into that.
You brought them Dirty Sprite 2s in here. You ain't the same shit. Dirty Sprite 2s.
Oh, that's them Thanos in-games right there, man.
But no, those are dope. I actually went after both because it was 2 releases. It was one with the Xbox. And then it was another one.
This one with the controller one. That was a nice shoe, man. That was dope. So, I mean, they had the Sylvester and it was a Roadrunner.
It was a Sylvester and Tweety Bird one.
Yeah, too, and right? It was a Daffy Duck versus Bugs Bunny.
I mean, I'll say this: like great use of intertwining, the brand Nike along with Warner Brothers, Looney Tunes, and all of that. So.
I mean, the rollout for this movie is one of the best rollouts I've seen in a minute.
I mean, shoot, they just rolled it out to death. I mean, you couldn't escape it. Like
that. I mean, but yeah, some of the stuff made sense. But between the top 3 rollouts I've ever seen, right? This one, Jay-Z Black album.
Okay.
Yeah, the S dot. Remember he had the Black album form, all that.
Yeah.
And this vaccine. The 3 best rollouts I ever seen, bro. Juvenile doing the back that up, vaccinated, whatever that video was.
Bruh.
I said, my people can be bought. Oh my goodness! Now I know how the African people.
Listen, I got vaccinated, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna go do a video for it. I'm straight.
But that's what those ones,
especially reigniting the classic video.
Yeah, I always thought that was corny. Like when you try to retrofit a song to fit some type of slogan or messaging.
Look, when you get thrown the bag, you do some strange things for it.
That's what it's just like. What happened?
He got thrown the bag that he probably felt like he needed at the time.
I don't think he needed, but it's just like, come on, bro, because I'm highly Juvenile. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like he carried Cash Money, but
in the early days,
yeah, he did. Still got the #1 selling album on Cash Money history too.
Oh, 400 Degrees.
Yep, still #1.
Okay, I thought
Drake,
it'd be
Wayne, all of them. Yep.
All right.
That is a classic album, though.
Yes. Yeah. So,
ugliest release of the week. They got the Nike ISPA Desert Sand, and I don't know why they have a hard time. Like,
I bet you it's comfortable as shit.
I was gonna say,
I could just tell,
but I wouldn't care though. If I saw this, first of all, it looked like mold on the upper. I'm like, I don't how do you?
So if they gave you that, so a size 15 of that, it probably look like a meteorite.
Probably, it probably looked like coronavirus.
I know. You seen that movie Outbreak when
they
was in the lab looking at the samples?
Yep.
The shoe just looked diseased.
Dog. This shoe got SARS.
You know what I'm saying? It looked like it got smallpox.
Oh man.
This shoe,
oh man, only y'all real was not that movie Outbreak.
This shoe was like man, I don't know how many times I've said this on the show, but I would love to be a fly in the room.
But bro, you got their number. You on the call.
No,
you got
trust me, I
you
don't.
argue with the CEO,
Wait,
bro. You be acting like you don't have no access to Nike though.
Time out. They don't send you the voicemail.
Yeah, exactly.
They pick the phone.
Exactly. They pick up the phone for you.
Y'all giving me too much credit. Cause trust me, had I had a voice in that room, that shoe would have never seen the light of day. Why would you come out like this shoe sitting on the table? Around, and it's probably 20 people sitting around this table. Each clipboard is dissecting the shoe.
Let's talk about who those 20 people that's sitting around that table are.
Well, yep. Yep.
Thanks, Stick.
Yep. Stick with the visuals.
So there it is.
It's like, why would you
Stick? Would you wear that shoe?
No way in hell. No way in
I'm
hell.
just like, what?
But I know people that would. Like, this is like the rock climbers in Sedona type. Like, it's already the red sand color that's going to stain my shoes anyways.
Oh, don't talk. I thought you were talking about Sedona Tap House. Good food.
No, very good food.
Sedona, Arizona.
Very good food.
Yeah, you got to shop.
You're right though. Those would be the type of people that would appeal to.
You got to shop at like Colombia and Patagonia.
But I would think
that
you would want more people to buy this shoe other than just. I mean, how many rock climbers are like? Is that a huge demographic?
You never know, man.
Well, at least if it was gonna be rock climb-esque, at least make it actual ACG. I would have.
That's what I'm saying. ACG was hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't you dare put that AC. Don't put that shit with ACG.
No, I'm saying
like make it like actual like ACG like.
The purpose of that was to give you like an earth tone shoe and a colorway in a polarizing silhouette.
But a lot of those silhouettes.
So they gave you a Yeezy.
Hold on.
That's what that sounds like.
But a lot of those silhouettes were a play off of those what he said.
What did
and
say?
So
the aliens would agree to this shoe.
Man, dog, this shoe is just.
So you said an earth tone.
Can you go to the full screen again? Because I just look at there's blotches on there. It looks like dead flesh.
You be dishing these shoes at home. You be pulling them out and wearing them to work. I really be thinking about that.
That's why he's selling all the shoes. Yeah. He got to make room for the new stuff.
Spider-Man, when he was like, Spider-Man was like, yo, put him away. And then he went in the hallway and clicked his belt and he was a chameleon. Like, that's what I think you be doing with these shoes, bro.
You think I had these at home?
I think you might have these at home.
Bro, no. Ain't no way. Why would I have these?
What jersey would you wear those with?
Or you could have that Chipotle from San Francisco in 2017. You could have left it in your Epic Reacts and it could have turned into this.
No, I love how he got these backstories.
So
within seconds.
When he go back in time?
Who? No, she left the Chipotle in his shoe and his Epic Reacts.
Speaking of back in time, anybody watch Loki?
Of course.
It reminds me of Leatherface. Like that's
That
what
is
this
does.
I can see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah,
It's
this is
all
like
scabby and skin and looks like just nasty.
what's my man name from Silence of the Lambs? What's the guy's name? That was,
Hannibal Lecter.
No, the other guy.
Oh, the dude who he ate his brains.
No, the guy that was making the clothes out of flesh.
Oh, I don't know.
I forgot his name. That guy was weird.
He was very weird.
So
like,
you trying to say
it's
that
like
look
something
like
he would make.
That looked like a woman's suit. That's what you're trying to say.
Basically, that's yeah. It looked like he made it
To match
Was
the
it-
lampshades.
Was it Cowboy? It was Billy. Oh god damn it!
Oh, it was
As he has a computer right there in front
yeah,
of him.
exactly.
I was like doing
Wild
it
Bill.
right now.
Wild Bill. Wild
that's what it
Bill.
was.
Yeah, Wild Bill.
I mean, I was admittedly I was
You know,
being
it's like
lazy.
the weirdest part of that movie is the end of it when it goes into like night vision. It's like it's like the movie is good and they do that. It's like what the hell is that?
Collab.
I just couldn't.
Yeah,
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill,
Bill,
Wild
okay.
Bill, Buffalo
Same
Bill,
thing.
Buffalo Bills,
I just
Buffalo Wings.
Nah, hey, it might be them buffalo wings he ate. He asked for the dry rub, they rubbed it off. And these look like these do.
That's the rub. That's the rub that came up.
These
That's why it's got splotches on there.
America.
That's what that is.
I don't know if y'all encounter this, but if I ask for dry rub, I want some chicken with the dry rub. Like I got more dry rub than chicken, and that's why I had to rub it off. I'm like, goddamn. I like seasoning, but shit, when it's like overwhelming my mouth.
Well,
like,
I mean, but you know, they probably thought, well, you are African American, and we real big on seasoning our food.
well, I'm gonna sue Buffalo Wild Wings for being racist because, like, look, that's ridiculous. Like, I like salt like the next guy. That was just ridiculous. That was a ridiculous.
Didn't you get lemon pepper?
It was lemon pepper, but
See,
that was
that's even more the reason why.
it was ridiculous.
They was like, oh shit, it's Rick Ross. We got to make sure we take care of him.
Okay, all right, cool. I'm trying to think of some short black guy I can call you.
I'm not sure. I'm average height, so.
No, Gino's like 3'7".
Sometimes it is a struggle to get up in this chair.
You gotta get like a running start and
Nah,
jump.
I probably need a crane to just drop me in.
Oh boy. No, there was actually there was a number of things I wanted to talk about. One of which, and this has nothing to do with shoes. I thought it would be kind of funny. So there's supposed to be a versus between the Locks and Dipset. And so what I find funny is the conversation is because a versus is more of a vibe type thing.
It started
It's more-
off like being like competitive, and then it turned into like a kumbaya. But I think this one's gonna kind of bring it back to more of a competitive.
It might, but I'm talking about as far as the discourse about on social media about who's gonna win. Now, if this was like straight lyricism, and if this was straight up a rap battle, Locks will win handily. But if we're talking about vibe and hits, oh, it's Dipset all day, bro.
I don't
Dipset.
know
Dipset was a movement for like
here's
3
my thing.
summers,
I'm
bro.
a big Dipset fan. I think they're gonna win off of cultural impact, but.
Not necessarily,
But the
'cause
Locks got them
it's-
bad boy hits.
It's in
then they got them Rough Rider
NYC.
hits. Huh?
It's in NYC, so it's gonna be.
It depends
which
it's gonna
crowd
be
you
Yonkers.
gonna
It's gonna be
get.
Yonkers.
I
versus
just feel like
Hollywood.
when you talk about that's what I'm talking. That's my point. When you talk about hits, like I feel like the Locks had good songs, but I don't think their hits match Dipset's.
Well, no,
as far
of course
as
not.
hits.
I mean, they both got
Bars?
hood classes.
Yeah.
They both got hood classes. I just think like because
How many
it's-
hits did they have with Bad Boy?
they was on
They had
Money
the
Power
one-
Respect.
well, they had
about
the
the
one album.
Benjamins.
Uh-huh.
They was on they won on quite a few songs. He was on 24 Hours to Live. Jada
Yeah,
Live. So
but it was,
they got
just,
some-
notice-
but it was just the fact that they only had
But you
one
notice,
album.
but
on
you
Bad Boy.
exactly, and you notice how the songs you just listed weren't theirs. Dipset, once they break out, what's really good, especially this year.
but they can bring out
bro.
We Gonna Make It. That's a tough record to
But that's
follow
not a
up.
Lock song though.
I mean,
It's a
you got,
Jada
it's
Kiss
a
song.
group, so you gonna play.
Cam, we'll go ahead
That's
that
what I
then.
was gonna
Jada's
ask.
come on, knock yourself
gonna
out.
say-
Come on, I
Are you
love
bringing
Jada.
them
Cam
up
got more
individually?
hits though.
Are you breaking them up
Nah.
individually?
Jada got the Y, like he got the
Yeah, but
Cam got hits,
I'm sorry,
though,
man.
bro.
Cam got nah, bro.
Cam-
When you talking bars, Jada all day. Hits?
Well, even if you're talking bars, you can go Cam.
Nah, Cam's not a better rapper
Oh,
than Jada.
hold
Jada's
up,
in my
man.
top
like
10.
Cam.
Don't
Jada's in
do
my
that.
top
Don't
10.
do
I
that.
love
See, the
Cam,
problem
bro.
is everybody point to the one era where they said Cam was just getting away with
Computers
whatever.
feuding?
But if you look at like listen to the album, you listen to Purple Haze, even if you listen to Killer Season.
Listen, no, real talk. Cam
on,
was
man.
nice, but He was no, he
but
still
Jada's
is.
in people's
Because his last
top 10,
album was
bro.
hard.
Exactly.
Purple Haze 2 was nice.
But
I will say this. He got but a lot of his was based off his swag. Like Cam was just mad confident.
Yeah.
Mad confident. Like he could say almost anything and you'll go with it because he was just mad confident. Jada, no, come on now. As far as bars,
Jada, bro.
come on, bro. We talking about Jada Kiss.
People so whack. I took half the year off. These rapping.
Come on, bro.
Girls got Rihanna got cut.
But that's what I'm saying. Like we was talking. Like, if this versus was a rap battle, the Locks would win. If you're talking about vibe and hits, it's Dipset because Dipset was three hot summers, bro. At least
Dipset, in my opinion,
like I remember the Locks having that type of impact.
There is no. There is no impact in terms of rap music, in terms of what the Diplomats did for that time period. Because it was short
were the first wave. They were the first definition of a wave.
Oh yeah, it was a wave
so like
for
that's
sure.
what I would say. But the Locks don't. I ain't gonna sleep on the Locks.
No,
picking
not
oversized jerseys all over this country.
Yeah, so they gave.
The Locks was nice. I'm just saying, you talking
because
about
the Locks was grimy.
but the verses is more about hits versus hits, and it's like, yo, they got more.
No, because we like the album cuts too, because that's when when artists get in their album cuts.
No, I agree with you, but I'm talking about the majority of the public know more about the Diplomats.
But that's why it's not for them.
And this is why I'm like, it's mixtapes because if they go to mixtapes.
Oh yeah, mixtapes. It's no holds bar. You can go mixtapes.
Oh, if they go mixtapes. Oh,
yeah, you go because especially when you go to like Jada Kiss's mixtapes, like them consignment.
But once
tapes,
again, we talking. Okay, when you say when
the Kiss My Ass tape.
Once again,
he got some.
This is why I need to know the rules because does individual careers count?
Because prime example,
Season Guru looking like Beanie Siegel. What you say? That was funny.
Season Guru look like this.
Y'all got what it takes to rock the mic.
That was nice.
But yeah, that was cold. Like when Bobby
Brown not
did
Beanie Siegel now.
But when
you actually got a voice.
Yeah.
When Bobby Brown did his, he did some new additions because he was a part of that group. Like when people have did like their individual songs when it came to verses or when they was in a group.
So solo careers count in this as well.
Yeah, because
that's what I'm saying. Wells was nice for a couple years. Jim Jones had his moment.
Styles P, man, can't sleep on
Styles
P.
Well, I was gonna say honestly, like kind of like the dark horses. Really are like Jim Jones, just with his recent because he's gotten better. He's gotten much better.
The most improved.
But he was another one. Like at the beginning, he could just say whatever he wanted. Koofy smacking like
that was fun.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it.
My point is that like I don't know. I just feel like Dipset got more in their back.
And then let's not
like I said,
on,
you talking about mixtapes.
You can't sleep on Sheik either because he might not be as popular, but Sheik got bars as well.
That song it was the Locks with DMX and Jay-Z. They all got off, so they could that blackout.
But that's my point.
They can play like it's just.
But once again, like we're not like
if this is the dopest group name.
Oh, Dipset has the dope man, dog. Everybody was screaming Dipset when he was a part of it.
The Dipset easily have the greatest logo in rap history.
Dog, they just everything about the Dipset was cool, bro. Like everything they did was fly. Like it was just dope.
I think
that's what I'm saying. The mixtapes,
we can all look back and say like we were all inspired.
Diplomatic Community was probably one of the hardest albums.
We're not arguing the impact. Dipset got it.
And you know what? This speaks to Cam. This speaks to Cam's ability to not really say anything, but just how he said it. Is the fact that I honestly think he won his beef with Jay-Z. That shit was hilarious. When he brought out Jimmy Walker with the sandals and jeans and shit.
Cam is the king of the
Well, that's why I feel like the same. Jim Jones did the same thing.
When he said like Joe Camel, I'm like,
no. When Jim Jones took Jay-Z's diss verse on his song and then threw it on the actual remix and made money off of it. Like that's genius.
I'm just saying, but Cam was able to go at Jet like it wasn't a bar battle. It was just Cam just being silly.
I think people respected it because they were on the same label and then it was internal things.
No, I agree.
It's not like when Soulja Boy went at.
But I'm saying like, but certain people you expect to be lyrical, like Nas. He went lyrical. Yeah, he's had punchlines, but it was lyrical.
Cam knew that wasn't his strong suit. So without
but that speaks to what I'm saying. Yeah, Cam ain't got to be lyrical. He could just be.
But Camden did something that no other rapper has done.
That song was hard too.
Cam went at literally guys that's in everybody's top 10. He went at Jay-Z, he went at Nas, and he went at 50 when 50 was still like the hottest thing.
And I think he won that one too, like that man, dog.
Well, Ross gave 50 the knockout blow, and Cam just came in. Kyrie
Jada Kiss, he made a 50 Cent diss.
Oh yeah, but my thing is, that to me, the greatest one round battle ever was Jada versus Beans.
And Beans, yeah.
Both of them got off.
I agree.
Both of them got off.
I agree.
Oh yeah, and that's definitely one that it did feel like it might have turned like real ugly. You know, if Jada was to go back to Philly because they had their situation when he was performing out there, and then if Beans would have went to New York, like.
But I'm saying the verses.
He performed that song in Philly.
In the verses, it's gonna come down to songs people recognize, songs people like vibe to. Because most people ain't dissecting bar like.
But see, that's why I think the beauty of it is the fact that they having it at Madison Square Garden. So they're gonna have awesome. Like they got it at.
I think of a crowd there.
They should.
Oh, dog, that's gonna be the best.
It's a crowd. They sell tickets. It's sold out. So people gonna be there.
Thank you, Diplomatic Community, dog.
Classic album.
And they had, like, and that's what I'm saying.
Classic album.
That's the album they actually released. There's like 7 Diplomatic Community mixtapes. And then they got the one where Lil Wayne and it was on it. Like they had a song Black Republicans and stuff. I forgot.
That was Can't Feel My Face. That was Wayne and Jewels.
Yeah, but it was like a mixtape because I remember Cam did the old ESPN beat and made a song to it.
I know what you're talking about. I think it might be
Dipset. Said Diamonds and Pearls.
That was a Dipset Volume 3.
Dipset Forever or something?
The Dipset Volume 3 or Volume 4.
And they had the best version of what's that song they did with DMX?
Shout out to Julian, really good. Bro. He put me on to that.
I ain't like the album version. The mixtape version was better than the album version.
The mixtape version was a lot dirtier. The album version was very much so like polished and cleaned up.
But yeah,
and then Jewel's probably got one of the hardest songs to never come out on the album. The Second Coming, remember that Nike commercial?
Oh God, dude! If they drop that, man,
bro, it's a rap. That's what I'm saying.
If they drop that,
people forget. Like,
but you can't. They gotta forget. But like the Locks got it too, though. My thing is for those kids who don't know about that Knock Yourself Out and the We Gon' Make It and like all of those type of records, like
those songs are.
It's what I'm saying, like it's gonna be. We just talking music. We all know Dipset had a bigger epic.
No,
but when it's like music, like it's gonna be Christian. When they hit Dipset anthem, they got it with these verses. Your sequencing has to be on par.
Well, yeah, I was gonna
your
say,
sequencing has to be on par.
The way you lay out your set.
Right.
Like you gotta do
you gotta play great
way.
defense because when he come with Dipset anthem, either you gonna take the L that round or you gonna come back with one of you know what I'm saying, one of yours. So it's gonna be interesting.
I just feel like the Diplomats is gonna be more hype, and that's gonna mean something. That's
but
gonna
New York
matter.
is grinding.
That's what I'm saying. They in New York, man.
The Locks people like New York.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they put them in. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just saying. I put my money on Dipset because to me, I think this type of venue. Like I said, if this was about bars, Locks without question.
But it's New York. New York fans like bars.
And I was gonna say if it wasn't for it being
Dipset,
if it wasn't for it being in New York and it not being a crowd, I'd probably say Dipset like easily just because
it'll win the social media engagement reaction. They will win it. But since in New York with New York fans,
would depend. Them dudes from New York too though, so they was feeling them too. So
yeah. But the other part too with New York is New York rappers always feel like, especially now,
they slide it.
They slide it. They underappreciate. You think the Locks not feeling that way?
Look, I'm saying it's gonna be nice. I'm just saying.
New York is split anyway. New York is split between the grimy people and the flashy people. That's a New York 50-50 split.
That's what I always liked about Cam, because Cam could kind of be both.
He could be.
He could play both roles.
Dog, I'll tell you, like I want to put him in my top 5 because Cam, dog, the swag, man.
He not in your top 10?
He definitely in my top 10.
Okay, just
Cam was my guy.
I don't know if I got.
No, Cam was my guy.
Cam in my top 10.
I don't care.
Cam in my top 10.
Cam not in my top 10.
See, I mean, even that, like
that's Cam. That's what I'm saying. He had dudes wearing pink and like, yo, like I was just like, man, come on, bro.
I would say but I don't know if I got Cam in my top 10.
Cam, dog. Cam was my dude,
in the top
bro.
10, man.
I got Cam.
Like I said, he still could do it. Like his the Heat Makers, man. Shout out to them.
I got J-Pac,
them beats they was dropping.
Nas, I got him in my top 10.
You ain't got him in your top 10?
I got J-Pac, Biggie, Nas, Wayne, Jada, Pusha. That 10 spot it's like a fight.
Ooh, wait. If I had to go, we doing 10? Because I
have to actually write mine out. I can't do mine off the top of the head.
I got LL in mine because dude was like one of the first ones to like.
You got Nas in there?
Yeah, of course you got Nas.
Yeah, so you got 7 right there.
That's 6.
6?
That's 6.
You got M.
I'm a big Ice Cube fan too, by the way. So I'm gonna put Cube in there.
Ice Cube took on the whole group and smiled.
Dog. Ice Cube was nice back in the day.
All the NWA music, but go ahead.
Ice Cube was nice back in the day. Shit, I got 3 more spots.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Cam in there. Like, I'm sorry. Until I can think of somebody else, I still got 2 slots left.
You got Cam over Jada, Nas, and M. I mean Jada. You got Cam over Jada. Who else on there?
The reason I put Cam over Jada. The reason I got
Wayne.
Oh, I got Wayne in there. I'm not in no order. This ain't no order.
Yeah, I'm saying, but I'm just saying like.
But the reason I'll put Cam in there is because while Jada and Pusha had better bars, there's other facets. I feel like Cam had more of an impact. He had more hits.
Yeah, because Pusha wouldn't be in my top 10.
He wouldn't be in my top 10. He had more hits, but he had more of an impact.
Pusha would be one of those guys that'll be like right on the outskirts of the top 10.
We talking about rappers or lyricists? Because there's a difference.
Rappers, like greatest of all time.
Because rappers, we
just talking about rappers.
Because I was telling somebody this the other day, like some of the best lyricists you would hear are in rap battles, but they don't go mainstream sometimes because they don't know how to put together albums or songs.
Yeah, like Big L. Oh my God, dude! Bar for bar.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But he didn't have the same career like a Jay-Z would have because putting together songs and putting together albums is a whole lot different than just spitting bars.
But the way that what made it dope is that the Jay-Z's and Nas can go on the radio freestyle
and they could,
and then go on the album.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes them great.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm just talking about like just rapping.
But that tip spot, I don't know.
Because my thing is,
I'm surprised.
Because Mace is like
Wayne Mace was my guy too though.
Mace is like if you gonna put Cam, Mace gotta be like, well, yo.
See, I put for me, I probably go Jay, Nas, Big, Pac, M. Then that's where, like, for me, honestly,
you wouldn't put Wayne before Cam.
I was about to say, I'd say,
yeah, I put Wayne before Cam.
I was about to say, Wayne like little Wayne now.
Wayne 6. Then I probably go Cam. I probably put Pun up there. And then I probably round out with Ice Cube and then Andre 3000.
How you got Pun?
Oh, that's it. Andre 3000. That's it. That's my
go and I gotta put Pun as a lyricist.
Can I put Outkast? Can I put Outkast? I like both of them.
You know, you ain't like Pun. You didn't like Pun as a lyricist.
Can Outkast go in?
Yeah. Pun was a lyricist, but if other people have put out more material than you,
then why are we putting Biggie up there?
Because Biggie put out a lot.
Because he had that impact too, though.
But I'm saying
Biggie had that impact.
Biggie, don't sleep on
Biggie impact, bro.
Pun
did not have that Biggie impact, dude.
Didn't need it. Name me a whack Pun verse.
Biggie killed features.
Name me a whack. So did Pun.
Listen, Biggie was.
Pun didn't kill features.
Gino.
Oh my God.
Gino.
You gonna say Pun didn't kill features?
Gino. If I say King of New York, who you think of?
Oh, of course, Biggie.
Exactly. So that's my point. It's like, dog, like when you drop 2 albums and you get that label.
What I'm saying though is for Pun
and
to
he
do
had
what
features,
he did.
Biggie's features was stupid.
I'm not saying. I never said Pun was better than Biggie. I never said that.
Biggie might be the greatest feature artist ever because he can kill an R&B rapper. Dog. He can kill on a rap track. Like, come on, bro. And I love Jay. And Jay up there with the features too. But
no, Biggie might be one of
Biggie. Biggie
is probably the greatest rapper.
Better than Biggie. I never said that. I said Pun is in my top 10. But of course,
if
Biggie
you gonna
is
say features, why Wayne kills features more than Pun?
Wayne is in my top 10 as well.
But you got Pun before Wayne.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you
Pun
do.
was after. I had
How
Wayne
you put
6.
Pun over Biggie though? Like
no, I did not. I never said that.
Okay, my bad.
I said Wayne was 6. And I said after that, I said Pun, but then I was like probably Scarface and who did I say? Then I said
Biggie might be the best rapper as far as flow, lyricism.
Scarface is definitely up there too.
Damn, I forgot about Scarface, man.
And honestly, quiet as kept.
Scarface, I'm going to put him on 11 spot.
Quiet as kept in terms of again, like just straight like rapping ability. Like I mean, honestly, Eminem's greatest influence is Redman. Redman as a rapper is just phenomenal.
I forgot. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why
I got like. There's a lot you guys are forgetting. I know.
And then like I said, Andre 3000,
KRS-One, dog.
Like we're KRS. Want to talk lyricist, Slick Rick,
Busta Rhymes.
One person if I had to like bump somebody, Rakim. Everybody inspired. And then cuss. Gave you bars and didn't say one cuss.
Yeah, I gotta bump somebody for Rakim. Rakim has to be on top.
And I got like Jeezy, T.I., and Ross fighting for like that 10th, 11th.
Let me ask y'all about this. I know I feel silly for even asking.
You got Pun over T.I.?
What about Ludacris?
As a rapper?
Ludacris, the most underrated rapper ever.
Dog.
Most underrated rapper.
Ludacris was nice.
He's not the most underrated ever.
Yes, he is.
No,
because he smacked people in the battles. He sent Drake, Sean,
that's why I don't
and
think
T.I. on their way.
That's why I don't think he's underrated.
Records. He got hits.
Hey, that's why I don't say he's underrated.
And he's a top 5 intro artist.
Which is why I don't say he's underrated.
Ludacris has the best intros.
We don't. We do, but people outside the casual fans don't give him his love.
I know for a fact if I put on a Ludacris album, that first song is going to bang.
Oh, when you throw on like just a week ago, I was playing Back for the first time, and I just couldn't help but just keep playing the intro.
His first 3 albums was stupid.
Because again, you think punchlines.
I don't understand the Ludacris hate. I don't, man, because I could throw on a Ludacris song and get hype. Seriously. But going back to Biggie, this is how you know Biggie's great. Though. You could put on any Biggie song, and people gonna be feeling that shit. If you throw in a party, you throw in any Biggie song and people move into that shit. Like he's the one person I know. Like I love Eminem, but he ain't no party. You can't play him in no club and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like certain people, like Biggie, everybody love Big.
Yeah, no, Big
except Gino.
No, he's in my. Biggie is in my top.
Dunk's probably at home writing Superman 2.
Hold up. Biggie is in my top 3. Biggie is in my top 3. Like, I'll never go against that.
Like Pac is my sentimental favorite.
Pac is probably the most recognized rapper ever. Like,
because everybody,
the most loved rapper. Like,
you know why? Because people related to him. He was relatable, and he spoke to you in a way that you could feel. You could literally listen to a Pac song and feel the shit.
I think it was the interviews.
Well, that too.
The interviews was the cementing him like
just like that. Just like Muhammad Ali. Like his interviews added to the legend.
Tupac and Snoop, the most famous rappers ever.
No, Snoop not on my top 10.
So. No, I said
famous rappers.
Famous rappers.
Oh, as far as fame,
yeah.
I mean, because you look at everything Snoop
one of the top 10
done,
famous.
You look at everything
I'm talking about as far as
post rap career.
He in my top 10. No,
well, not even necessarily post rap career.
He's
but
in my top 20.
Snoop in top 20?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Snoop
for sure. He'd be top 20.
He's not my top 10 though.
No.
So where y'all put the Jeezy, T.I.'s, and Rosses?
They
top 20.
They would be in top 20.
Well, Jeezy, I don't know if Jeezy would be in my top 20 though.
For impact, Jeezy had the same impact as one man that the Diplomats had.
And the whole summer. And the whole summer.
True. Not just one summer. Jeezy had
you was arguing with Nike, he was arguing with
CNN.
So, like,
I'll give you that.
Jeezy basically ran. Basically, you could say
why have Jeezy in my top 10? Because his mixtape catalog can go with Wayne's, and he has a nice album catalog. There's not many rappers that have both.
Because I said I was going to put Andre 3000, but can I put Outkast in as a group?
I mean, yeah, because they only did like 2 albums by themselves, 1 or 2 albums individually.
Because they put the South on the map.
Dre only did the one, really.
But Dre not really a rapper though, man.
Dre, Andre 3000, he only did the one.
I think you're talking about Dr. Dre. I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah, Andre 3000, he only did the one.
His albums are obviously classics, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't consider him a rapper. He's not my top.
Who, Dr. Dre?
Yeah.
Oh, he wouldn't even crack the top 25, probably top 30.
Yeah, he don't write his own shit.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like, Outkast, man, like, I feel like this generation does not appreciate them. Because Outkast.
I ain't
gonna go with the whole Dungeon family,
gonna front.
Yeah.
That Field Mob song, when I get lonely, I was rocking with that when I was in high school.
Nah, like the Dungeon family as a whole is underrated, man.
And the people who branched off from that. You got the Futures, you got
you think they influenced all of Atlanta basically now from just that one one era of 94, 95. Yeah, they created all of it.
It's a documentary on Netflix. I can't think of it. It's like, but it talks about like the
art of hip hop.
Yeah, man, they talk about all that stuff. I love it, man, but because they get everybody they do, but yeah.
You talking about the one with Trick in it?
No, not that one.
He goes by he talks about
he goes by
different facets. Yeah, the eras of hip hop.
I've watched that entire thing about 3 times.
Yeah, I love that.
It's great.
I felt like the 90s was nice, but the 90s was classic.
90s and early 2000s.
The 2000s gave the 90s a run for their money.
I was gonna say 90s and early 2000s.
Gave the 90s.
I would say late 90s, early 2000s was like the peak of hip hop.
And we were so ignorant as black people. As a rapper, we held rappers. If you say he was gonna beat him up, when you saw him, you had to beat him up.
You had to.
It was necessary.
We wasn't buying your album. That was so ignorant of us. Like getting older now, like we was dumb for inflicting all that drama as consumers. But
so what about Busta Rhymes though? Anyway, he's
underrated.
He's my top 20.
He's underrated.
Very underrated.
See, and that's why I said like the Ludacris thing. Ludacris in my mind, like I can't fathom the thought of him being considered underrated.
Because people actually think he whack, and I'm like, how?
Who?
I've heard some people think he's whack.
Yes.
If you think that, you just don't have an opinion about rap.
Like, because Ludacris be like, I mean, he has some punchlines.
Luda was really good.
I mean, I think the other part too is always
because one of my favorite bars. It wasn't even a bar. It was just one of my favorite lines. He was like, white people love the flow. They be like, dude, you fucking rock.
Oh, Bun B, there go another one.
Bun B.
Well, you know, actually,
Bun B has one of the greatest lines ever in the history of rap. The read a book, you
why aren't you watching Breaking Bad?
Step up your vocab. That's one of the best lines ever.
Yeah.
Quandra should be in the middle watching Breaking Bad right now.
But put it this way, the Ludacris thing, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the video of what Ludacris says is his favorite verse that he's ever heard?
What's that?
It's a Cameron verse.
entertainment, but Hammer was dog.
I mean, he brought that showmanship to especially performing wise.
I don't care what nobody say. My favorite interview was Outkast talking about Hammer. And he was like, "Run up on Hammer and see what," because people forget he from the Bay.
Mm-hmm. Nah, so.
Well, yeah, they said who was that? Who's that red man?
And when
said
James
he
Brown
almost got jumped by him. All his goons.
I'm not gonna say it.
You almost got beat up by Hammer.
I'm not even gonna say it, bro, because I ain't trying to get pulled over when I'm in the Bay Area next month.
Here you go.
Nope, I'm not gonna say it.
You got your red on, so
nah.
Yeah.
Because my man, he pulled up Biggie when he said he was whack, so I'm not gonna say it.
Who?
Oh, E40.
E40 not whack.
You gonna say E40 whack?
E40
has an acquired taste.
What?
If you like E40, if you like Little Buster, you got like E40.
I never understood it. Bro.
If you like the Little Busters and Cam,
you got
West Coast.
This is why I said it.
Oh man!
Don't have a beat if you're not gonna stick to it, bro. Like just do acapella. Just go acapella, bro. That's my only beat.
Well, say that to most of the Detroit rappers now.
I say that to them too. Like, why have a beat? That's why I cannot stand T Grizzly. It's like, dog, what? Why have a beat?
No, T Grizzly raps on beat. Now it's other rappers. They don't rap on beat.
Since when?
The little TJ dude who, like, not TJ. It's the other.
You know how I know? Dog, like, it's funny because
can't believe this is turning.
Was that Friday night? Was that Friday Night Lights?
Well, that was Cole.
J. Cole.
No, that was Friday Night Light. That was Big Sean album.
No,
Friday Night Cypher. Maybe it was Friday Night Cypher then. Maybe that's what it was.
I don't know Sean album. Sean
had
he had
a song called Friday Night Cypher where he had everybody from Detroit on there.
That was from Detroit 2 album. Yes,
that just came out this year.
Now last 2 years ago. No, last year.
Bro, it just came out this year. I want to pull it up.
It came out late last year.
No, it was this year, bro.
It's that COVID time. You don't know when the hell shit came out, man. It seems like last year, but
no. Sean album came out last year.
I was gonna say that Detroit 2 came out last year. Because I remember the rollout they was doing for that.
Yeah, last year.
Because they was putting all the merch out.
You're right. Okay, you're right. It was last
year. Yeah, he did the thing down at
the But my point was going to be, usually when they have a whole bunch of rappers on a song, it usually goes from like worst to best.
Mm-hmm. Not necessarily.
Usually. That's what I said usually.
Blackout Jada went first, and he arguably had the best verse.
I'm just saying usually. Well, he was trying to let everybody else shine. But usually.
How you going to let everybody shine with Styles and Chic and Jay-Z and
DNA? Exactly.
He's talking about let you shine. You better come
because Jay-Z can hold his own with them. That's why.
And Mace was on that too?
No, Mace wasn't on that.
No, I'm thinking
that was
about
Reservoir Dogs.
No, what I'm thinking of is the
24 Hours of Lit.
Then Started Something. That's on X album.
Oh, 24 Hours of Lit. That's like I'm telling you, that's one of the
They had Black Rob.
I know, Black Rob.
That's another guy that's underrated.
No, I was going to say.
R.I.P.
Because he held them down between that transition between Big and Mace.
And he was writing Puff lyrics on that Bad Boy album.
Yeah. But no, I was going to say, well, first of all, 24 Hours to Live, that's one of the handful of songs I can think of where everybody spit on that song. Everybody. All About the Benjamins was another one.
I'll give you another one. Crown with Jewels, Cam, and T.I.
Yes.
Everybody spit on that song.
Yes.
Everybody spit on that
song.
Show you
what that ooh-wop do.
Yeah, that. Yep. Even What We Do Is Wrong. Everybody spit on there. So it's just, there's some songs on there. Blackout, of course. Reservoir Dogs.
Dogs for sure.
Yes, that was a lock song with Jay-Z. So they got some. But that was back in the day. You couldn't
Can I get her? I mean, I'm just saying, like they all, even the Mill was spitting on that.
No, Money Cash. Money Cash remix.
Yep.
With JDMX and
Mill.
Emil spit on that.
Does Ja Rule make the top?
Ja Rule's people disrespect him,
but
his
impact. Gotta go. Shutting it down. Ja Rule got nothing.
Real talk. Hey, listen.
His impact.
Crazy.
He had impact though.
Real talk.
On the radio, you was not getting hits without Ja Rule for 2 years.
He a punchline now, and I was never the biggest Ja Rule fan, but the impact dude was hot.
He had his classic album called Rap, and he owned the radio.
He really did. He was Drake before Drake.
So. But 50 Cent dissed him and then did the same thing.
And then took his style.
Took his shirt off, did the singing songs with the chicks like this.
He took his whole style.
The wackest thing, I swear to God, we'll get to sneakers at some point. The wackest thing 50 Cent ever did. Remember that song was Busta Rhymes, Eminem, and 50 Cent?
Well, he dissed
Ja Rule and took two Tupac verses and just merged them together. Not one line he wrote. I forgot what songs he pulled from.
That Green Lantern mixtape though, with all of those diss tracks on it, man, he destroyed Ja Rule on that.
Yeah, I felt bad.
But yeah, he
the
used
Hail
it,
Mary.
I feel bad.
Hail Mary.
But 50 used that. 50 used that to put the battery in his back because he knew, like, all right, this is the guy that y'all claiming is who's on top.
At the time,
I'm gonna go at him.
There was Ja Rule fatigue, and 50 Cent took advantage of that because I think a lot of people were just tired of 50 Ja Rule.
But Ja Rule got Eminem. Like that's probably the biggest.
He had that one line.
Oh man,
that was a nice line.
We never seen somebody. It wasn't. We know Eminem was a better rapper and got him, but we never seen nobody get to Eminem like that. Like hit a trigger button.
That was a nice line.
And plus, we didn't know Ja Rule had that in him. Ja not know. He's not a battle rapper.
50 was weak for going to get them dudes. Like, you already beating up dude. Why you going to get back up?
That was the time where I was kind of like not feeling because I was like, why are you getting involved? Like, this between them dudes, like, you ain't got no horse in this fight. Secondly,
none.
That was around the time too when Eminem was rapping weird.
They all got involved.
He had that weird rappy voice that he was
even
doing.
on Aftermath.
Right, I was like, why are you here?
Busta was dropping disses. Exhibit dropped a verse in there, like.
Ja Rule brought up Busta. Ja Rule's the one who brought Busta into that. He wasn't even a part of it. He addressed it on that Green Lantern mixtape.
But you can't hate on what Ja did for like a year and a half.
No, you couldn't do that.
No. Good year and a half. But that Vinny Vici,
yes. Then he came with that second joint, like.
Holla. No, Ja Rule. I wasn't a big Ja Rule fan, but I mean, you gotta give dude his credit. He was. I mean, he was on.
Him and Irv Gotti gave
Irv Ashanti
gave J-Lo career CPR. They gave her so many hits,
bro. That's now you talking about somebody overrated.
Who, J-Lo?
Oh man. Like, she was the only person around on this earth with an ass. Like, dog, we get it. It's like, dog.
Spit that J-Nap talk. Tell him what you see every day at work. See?
That's what I'm saying, dog. I mean, he feeds it so J-Lo's a line.
Hold up, he be looking down from his office like he the kingpin because he the kingpin.
Hey, look, I sent my underlings like, go fetch her for me.
That's terrible.
Bring it to my chambers.
That's what you be doing at work.
Hey, man. Some people get paid
That's
to
why
work.
they built a new factory. They needed more rooms.
I had to sanitize his room. We don't want to take the black light in there.
Hey,
no, don't close that door. That's on my jerseys. Take her in this one.
That's why they hanging up.
Hey, real talk.
The jersey that he wore for which one? And put that one in the rafters. I'm a legend for that one.
There's a couple of stories that, well, one is funny and one might actually have an impact. And I guess I should have mentioned this too. I mentioned it maybe beginning of the year, maybe even last year. COVID kind of obviously impacted the entire world, and then it really hit manufacturing. Because even right now, like the auto plants, like they're doing like rolling layoffs because there's a chip shortage. Because most manufacturers had to shut down last year, due to COVID. Same thing with the food industry. And I remember last year somebody telling me like, next year's gonna be crazy because of production numbers and material shortages and yada yada yada. And this is why you see release dates getting pushed back, and changing and whatnot. And so anyway, that was last year, and you still having some of that happen this year. You got Nike and Adidas suppliers suspends production due to COVID. An article written on Reuters.com. Taiwan's Puchen Corp, which makes footwear for companies such as Adidas and Nike, suspended operations at its plant in Ho Chi Minh City recently as COVID-19 hits factories in the country's business hub. After successfully containing the disease for much of the pandemic, Vietnam has faced a more stubborn outbreak since late April. Vietnam's health ministry said in a statement that production at the factory will be suspended for 10 days. So it's only going to be 10 days, but anybody that knows anything about manufacturing, 10 days is forever.
That's the typical quarantine time. I think they're using now. Yeah, the 10 days. So
10 days. So state media said that 49 infections have been detected at the plant, which is at the epicenter of the country's worst coronavirus outbreak. Record infections and strict curbs on movement have left plants operating below capacity in northern provinces where suppliers for Apple, Samsung, and other global tech firms are located. Despite the latest outbreak, Vietnam has recorded far lower caseloads than many other countries, with only 36,605 infections in total and 130 deaths. So So yeah, it might have a small impact as far as releases, and not that that's the most important story. Obviously, life and death.
Yeah, health and safety number one. But it sounds like we only gonna get 125,000 pairs of cool grays this year.
That release, I'm interested to see how that plays out.
Well, I mean, especially with a story like that.
No, because the last Cool Gray 11 wasn't as crazy. That first release was stupid. Honestly, the only reason because I was going to sell my pair that I have now. The only reason I didn't, because if they come with that mesh bullshit.
The what?
The mesh upper.
Oh, that mesh one that they had the leak of?
Dog, I swear to God, if they do that.
But no,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely up their alley. Say, all right, how can we ruin this? How can we piss C's off so that he doesn't want to shoot?
If they do that shit, I swear to God, I'm going to be like, man, I might go out to Beaverton and throw an Adidas Supreme brick through a glass window.
Now make sure you go pick it up after you're done so you can sell it.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah,
only person that can, you're the only person on this panel that can get that close, seeing that you got a gate card. So I mean, it's all good, man. You better embrace your influence.
This shit is ridiculous.
I know, man.
This shit is ridiculous, bro. And real quick, we got our guy Zach coming in just a second. I want to get to this one story because it's hilarious to me, and I know he can probably add to it after I go through it. But counterfeiters sentenced for hijacking Supreme clothing brand. Have you guys heard this story? You heard about it? Okay. An article written by Jonathan Browning for Bloomberg.com. A London court sentenced the father and son duo, 53-year-old Michelle Di Piero and 24-year-old Marcelo Di Piero, to multiple years in jail for creating a copycat of clothing brand Supreme in what the judge called the most brazen counterfeiting operation he had ever seen. The father, Michelle, was ordered to serve 8 years in jail, and the son, Marcelo, was sentenced to only 3 years after a private prosecution by Supreme, which said that the father and son went so far as to act as if they were the true owners of the brand. Michelle's UK-based international brand firm Limited was fined $10.4 million. Judge Martin Badeau said that the two hijacked every facet of the company's identity and plagiarized it. A jury found the father and son guilty on 2 counts of fraud. UK law allows for individuals or private groups to act directly as criminal prosecutors in front of a jury. So if somebody committed a crime against us in the UK, we could actually go over there as prosecutors and prosecute them, like in front of a jury. Like,
that's wild.
Remember, I know this ain't funny, but I know the video went viral within the last month of the guy
from Florida.
Yeah, that would be me. A lot of 4-letter words, like just a lot of motherfuckers.
I didn't come here to and she was like, "Okay, sir. Okay, sir." Like, it's not funny because that man was fighting for his life.
Yeah, that was.
But it was just like his.
No, I'm sorry. It was funny because it was like, dude, you should have just hired
real talk.
counsel.
No, they free, bro. Like,
you should have just got counsel.
You going to jail either way, my dude. So yeah, just
you really made it worse doing that.
But that would be me though. Like, I ain't come here to play. From the start of the London trial,
you should do that when you go into the Nike office and see what changes we can make happen.
That's what I'm gonna do. Supreme's lawyers sought to differentiate the Di Piero's operation from the sale of fake goods in street markets by temporarily registering trademarks and opening shops. Michelle operated a substantial commercial operation. Jonathan Laidlaw, a lawyer acting for Supreme, called it a wholesale attempt to steal Supreme's identity. The jury took little over 4 hours to find the father and son guilty. Here's the funny part. Neither Michelle or Marcelo attended court, so an arrest warrant was then reissued following the sentencing.
Oh.
And they're still at large. Like, I thought you had to show up for that shit. I thought there was no choice.
Man, they're about to pull a Frank Matthews. They just gonna be gone and be disappear.
The next day, Supreme's lawyer told the judge that Michelle could qualify for the maximum sentence under the court's guidelines, while acknowledging that his son Marcelo had played a subordinate role to his father. Supreme had been battling Michelle across Europe courts for years after he registered the brand's name across Southern Europe and opened his own Supreme branded stores in Spain and China. In 2019,
beat them to their own job. That's crazy that somebody else beat you to what you were supposed to do.
Here's the funny part, though, and all the more reason that it's funny to me that he was not in court, because he's an obvious flight risk. Why would you not put this dude on some type of I don't know, quarantine or something. I don't know. In 2019, Italian authorities seized hundreds of thousands of garments belonging to companies linked to Michelle at a warehouse in and around San Marino. Michelle said in an email statement the Supreme's private prosecution was a very grave and unjustified assault, riddled with absurd, unfounded, and slanderous allegations of counterfeiting registered trademarks. But you did, though. Marcelo's lawyer, Nick James, said that Supreme had pursued Michelle and Marcelo even though there was an attempt at a financial settlement in other countries. What that got? Okay, whatever. It's unlikely that Supreme will recover much money as Michelle's London company had just 300 pounds in its account. So, yeah, suck on that. We got Zach.
Says he's on.
Okay, cool. Let's get.
Black screen right now.
Oh. Let's see. That one. Okay. Oh, nope. Probably should put those in. It's still a black screen?
Yeah. Says his name though.
Okay, well, hopefully he gets it together.
Tell him to turn his camera on. I think we're all good. I'll throw him up if you want.
Damn, what the hell? Okay.
Zach, you there?
Zach.
Is the splitter over there? No,
Zach.
you had one all the way over there?
Nope.
What you got plugged? Is this you?
No. Go ahead.
Okay, bet.
Zach. I love doing the show live. I really do.
There he is right there in the bottom box. Text him to turn his camera on.
Hey, Zach, can you put the camera on? This feel like a catfish video.
Just some balls are going to pop up on the screen or something.
Whoa. Hopefully not.
Yeah, telling me.
Yeah, I'm texting him right now. Put on your camera.
So anyways, J. Cole not being in the top 5.
Yeah. While we waiting on Zach to get his shit straight, this sale with Reebok, Adidas is just having a hard time.
You mean your purchase of Reebok?
Yeah, well, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Adidas auction of Reebok hits a snag. An article written by Josh Kosman for the New York Post. A key bidder has dropped out of the auction bid for Reebok, making it more likely that Adidas will take an even bigger hit on their disastrous 15-year stint as the owner of the struggling sneaker brand. ABG, Authentic Brands Group, a fast-growing licensing firm whose properties include Forever 21, Brooks Brothers, and Nine West, offered about $1 billion for Reebok in the auction's first round, teaming up with Wolverine Worldwide, the footwear maker behind Morel Shoes, Hush Puppies, and Stride Right. But talks with ABG recently hit the rocks over Adidas' demand that ABG operate Reebok as a standalone business. And I guess you'll see why. In addition to paying out fees to Adidas for at least several years through a transition service agreement, Adidas was asking ABG to avoid layoffs of Reebok employees, even as they continue to feed Adidas' sneaker distribution networks. Instead, ABG's chief executive, Jamie Salter, wanted to buy the rights to the Reebok name and integrate his U.S. business with Spark Group, the joint venture with mall giant Simon Property, which runs Aeropostale, Brooks Brothers, Forever 21, Lucky Brand, and Nautica. Wolverine Worldwide was planning to help with sourcing manufacturing overseas, which is one of the things I was concerned about with Reebok being his own company, is those distribution channels and those supply chains, like, you know, because it was solely dependent on Adidas, how would they reestablish those? But where am I at? A source close to the situation said that Adidas wants to sell Reebok with everything and wipe their hands clean, but Jimmy Salter just buys brands and licenses them. There would be job losses in Europe. The bid from ABG has stood to be the highest for Reebok. Nevertheless, the auction of the 126-year-old shoe brand will only fetch a fraction of the $3.8 billion that Adidas paid for it back in 2006. Reebok's steep losses, more than $100 million in a year before interest, taxes, and amortization, means that potential buyers can't borrow money to use towards the purchase. So because of those things, like, you wouldn't be able to take out a loan to buy Reebok. Reebok has projected profits within 5 years under a new owner, but a source said that Reebok's revenue fell last year to $1.5 billion. That's from $1.8 billion in 2019. Wolverine Worldwide has said that they are not interested in bidding without ABG. Adidas is setting August 2nd deadline for binding second round bids. While ABG has dropped out of the process, some insiders are ruling out that ABG could reach a last minute compromise with Adidas. Either way, it is expected that even if Adidas sells Reebok at a disappointing price, that it would not greatly impact Adidas' own stock price. And for those that don't know, Reebok was founded in England in 1895. The company took off in the 1980s when they introduced the first athletic shoe specifically designed for women. And people, do y'all know what shoe that was?
Your Pink Ranger.
Yep, that's what it was. The Fast Break. So, or yeah, it's the Fast Break. No, is that the Fast Break? That's not the name of it. I think.
What, just the workout? That's what I was.
I thought it was I forgot.
Women's workout mid.
It's something. Okay, whatever.
The Richard Simmons.
They're just calling the Pink Rangers right now. But this is all Adidas' fault. I mean, the real talk. I mean, you paid $3.8 billion for a company that you just undermined from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. And you're surprised that you're going to, like, you know what I'm saying, take a loss? Like, I mean, that's it.
And then as soon as you got just a good, I mean, I guess it'd be a good bid to be able to sell.
Yeah.
You just started issuing out a list of demands.
Well, I ain't mad at some of the demands, like, you know, asking for people not to get laid off.
But if you're going to sell off a company, it
ain't up to you no more. I agree. I'm just saying it's
and then
noble.
If you would have did a better job of managing the brand, it wouldn't have got to that point anyway.
I'm just saying it's noble. That's all I'm saying. It's a noble thing. But like Guru said, like, once you sell a company, it's out of your hands. If you really want to be done with it, be done with it. Because like I said, y'all ain't did Reebok no favors at all. Like, y'all just, I honestly don't even know what the game plan was. Looking at, you know, everything that has happened, you know, even as a Monday morning quarterback, looking back to shit, it's like, what was y'all thinking?
Or what Nike could do is do like what D did with Rough Riders, took them from Bad Boy and took them up a notch. Like, they could do that with Reebok. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Well, Nike? I don't know why they wouldn't either. I mean, look what they did with Converse. Like, that's why
we can actually get an Allen Iverson Jordan 11.
Oh boy. Like, I always tell people, like, if you want to know if you want a comparison as far as the relationship between Adidas and Reebok, just look at the relationship between Nike and Converse, and it's night and day. On top of that, like, there's so many instances of them, like, they took John Wall, you know, when they got him. The Beyonce will forever be that will forever be funny to me, because Reebok did, I mean, shoot themselves in the foot, and Adidas was quick to take advantage of that. I mean, Reebok never had a chance, let's be honest, but they didn't have to do what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But because Adidas was going to undermine them no matter what, which is the sad part about all this. You know, because honestly, I would rather see Beyonce with Reebok than Cardi B, because I've not been impressed with anything they've done.
Actually, like, they actually sell really well in stores. Her shoes.
Mm-hmm.
What's the price point?
Like 90, 100.
That's probably
why.
I
was gonna say, yeah.
I mean,
that's a big.
It's a decent looking.
A lot of women
shoe.
like it. They buy the color, especially like the women sell pretty well, but the kids sell out.
But you know what the
like
problem is, though? The amount of money they're paying her, they're not really making a return on it, and that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, Reebok is in a position where they have to do things like that to get interest in their brand.
But that's like, we pay her this. Even if they made more shoes, they could have maybe cushioned that blow when Adidas said, nope, we're not going to make, you only can make a decent amount of shoes. Like, it's putting them, like, Reebok, it's in the hard place in the rock. So
I think when you got bad leadership on both sides, you just destined to fail. Just destined to fail. You got bad leadership on Adidas as far as how they treated Reebok, and you got bad leadership at Reebok. You got a bunch of white dudes from Boston making all these decisions. I mean, there's no diversity. You got Stick.
We blaming Stick for everything wrong with Nike, everything wrong with Reebok.
Look, the best thing.
I represent all white people.
Yeah, you do.
That's how it is being black every day.
The best.
This is what it's like. I hate it here.
Yes, that's what it's like.
Best decision he made was signing us. No, it was like nervous laughter because I'm like, we're fired after this show, aren't we? But no, I don't know, man. Like, it's sad I really want to see Reebok thrive. As a fan of Reebok, you know, like, because I know it's not cool to be a fan of Reebok now, but you know, I don't care. I grew up on Reebok. I like a lot of their shoes. There was, you know, they had a lot of hits and misses in the last years, and some of that you could put on Reebok shoulders, and a lot of that you could put on Adidas shoulders. And I don't understand why you buy a company. Once again, I don't understand why you would buy a company and just undermine them continuously.
I feel like Reebok is almost like a place where, say, like 2019 to 2015, where lyricism really wasn't popular.
Yeah.
So if you was a talented rapper, you still struggle. I feel like Reebok's in that space now because it's a hype beast era.
Yeah.
So it's just like, even we made good products, it's still going to sit because we don't have that hype, you know, like other brands too.
Right.
But my thing, what I feel like Reebok is what can kind of push your clothing. I mean, your shoes, if you had brought your retro jogging suits back. Your clothing was dope. A lot of people don't know Reebok clothing was dope back in the day. So when you bring back that, not just the screen print with Shira Iverson on you bring back them Iverson.
The windbreakers.
But the Iverson pull-up, the Iverson sweatshirt with the stitched Q in it, with the Q, you know what I'm saying? Like, those type of things, like, if you could just do those type of things and just work, you want to backdoor your way. You want to work your way from the clothing to back to the shoes, you know what I'm saying?
But that's what you could have done. I wonder how much of that didn't get done because of Adidas.
But you see Puma doing that. That's exactly what Puma's doing right now. And they could take that Puma blueprint, or they could take the New Balance blueprint when it's like, you know what? We're just going to focus on our lifestyle and put out good quality product and, you know, consistency.
But I will say this, though.
That's what New Balance is
winning. I would have to say, between the J. Crew collabs, Ronnie, Joe Fresh Goods, like, and Bodegas when they do theirs, that's what's giving people to even look New Balance way.
Right.
Because once you look that way, you take a peek behind the curtains. Oh, that ain't bad. This one, you know what I'm saying? Those people wearing sneakers to work.
But see,
none of that is happening at Reebok.
But what I always say, though, collaborations are like sales, right? They're meant to get you in the store, but then you also have to have other products that have people coming back. And New Balance has that, whereas Reebok can be hit and miss.
What's actually the last big Reebok collab? See what I'm saying? The fact all you can do is take a deep breath and sigh about it.
I mean,
that lets you know.
I guess
there.
Was that the Nice Kicks questions? I mean,
they did the Candylands.
The Bubba Chucks was nice.
They got them Jurassic Parks.
Okay, anyway, let's move on. Let's move on quickly from that. We got Zach. We finally got Zach on the line.
Sorry about that. My computer wasn't working.
Are you good? What's going on? Oh, you got your shoe all in the background. Nice.
Got it right.
So.
Yes.
For people that don't know, this is Zach. He got the Sneaker Law. It's Sneaker Law Firm on Instagram, right?
Yeah, correct. That's from Twitter.
Yep. You breaking up a little bit. What is it? The volume? Oh, he's good.
His connection. Yeah.
Oh, it's the connection.
And if you could turn his phone horizontal.
If you could turn your phone horizontally, that would be great. There you go. There we go. But no, so it was so people that don't know, we do a segment once in a while, Ask a Lawyer, because we get a lot of these legal stories, and so, you know, we'll opine about it often, but we thought it'd be better if we actually had somebody with some type of legal expertise to come on the show. We had John Mai, friend of the show. He would come in studio and kind of go over those stories with us. But Zach also is a lawyer. He tunes into our show, and he actually you know, called me, or it was a text to kind of let me know that we got some things right and wrong as far as the dialogue that we had. Was it last week's show or the week before? Was it last week's?
Yeah,
Which one was that?
Yeah, I'm surprised. That's one surprised you guys had a lawyer on 2 weeks in a row. That's daring. I think it was last week.
No, I mean, you know, because real quick, because we tried to do something different, you know, like with our show. Like I said, we have, well, one, I feel like we cover a lot of stories that nobody else covered. Two, you know, we wanted to, it's one thing to give our opinion, but if our opinions are wrong or not based on any type of reality, then those opinions mean absolutely nothing. And so wanted to support those opinions by having some type of legal expertise on the show. And it's surprising to me that nobody did it. Of course, when we did it, then everybody got the bright idea to do it too. But You know what I'm saying? But
typical C's punchline.
I'm just saying, like, it doesn't go unnoticed. But anyway, I think one of the first things, because there was another things you told me. One was the Bape situation with Nike.
Okay.
Can you elaborate on
First off, I'll talk. Yeah, first off, John sounded great. Everything he said was, literally on point, and I think you hit the nail on the head. There's a lot of law that comes with sneakers nowadays, and everyone says stuff and thinks they're, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. And again, I'm not saying I'm right all the time. I'm certainly not. But yeah, I think, like you said, there's a lot of misinformation. So it's a good thing that what you guys are doing, bringing John on and bringing me on and bringing a bunch of other, great lawyers that do this kind of stuff just to help interject here and there. So I appreciate you guys having me.
No, most definitely. I mean, me and you already talked. We already, have a relationship of sorts. It was funny because I remember when you jumped on Instagram, I was kind of like, oh, it's about time, like, to actually see somebody. I'm always surprised when I see the different angles people take within sneakers. And so when you finally did it, I was just kind of like, oh yeah, like that definitely makes sense because, people are starting businesses. They might have other questions and concerns. And so having a lawyer within that space who was knowledgeable, to the laws and rules specific to sneakers, helps us out as a community in the long run. But can you speak on the Bape situation? Is there something we missing in that?
So I think you guys hit the nail on the head last time. It's really just a decision that, that Nike's making in general. But what me and you were talking about, Caesar, was the case.
Yeah.
And John was correct in regards to, it went up to the Supreme Court. And I know you talked about how there's different levels, and certain levels of courts hear facts and others just hear appeals and such.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in the case with the Yums. You guys hit the nail on the head in regards to the reason it went to the Supreme Court is because it was related to the covenant not to sue. And what that really is just a promise not to go after them. And that's what Nike did here. I guess backing up a little bit. In short, when this first happened, Yums made a shoe that was I think it was several shoes actually, that were very similar to the Air Force One, just like you guys said. And then they brought a lawsuit against Yums, and when Yums counterclaimed, they said, hey, we want to invalidate that trademark. And that's when Nike sort of took a step back and said, okay, we're going to drop the lawsuit, which is what they did. But they also made that covenant or promise not to sue Yums for present or future models of that shoe. And Yums was excited. They said, okay, great. But then they went to the court and they said, okay, we still want to get that trademark out of here. That's hurting us, our business. So we want the court to hear a case on that. And that actually is what went to the Supreme Court. That decision of whether the court could even make a decision, whether the court could say, yeah, Nike, your trademark is gone, invalidate that. And that was really, it didn't get decided on. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the nation. And they actually agreed with Nike. They said, yes, this is a covenant not to sue. And because this was legal, it's a really high standard to make. Because he made the high standard, that they wouldn't even make a decision.
So they still own the trademarks of the Air Force One?
Yeah, that's why, exactly. There's all different, there's trademarks, patents, copyrights, which are very different forms of intellectual property. And the trademark is something that lasts forever. As long as you're using it, you're going to get it. And as you know, Nike's still using the Air Force One, so they still have that trademark. But that's why that case was so important.
So why would they make the covenant then to not sue if they own the trademark? Like, that's the part I'm having a question. Like, if they own the trademark to the Air Force One and Yums is making a knockoff or a version of it, why would they not win that case?
Well, yeah, and that's the $1 million question. You got to ask Nike,
Yeah.
They have, I guess this was 2009, 2012 is when the Supreme Court heard it. But that's why they hired lawyers like me and other people, because there's a bunch of factors that I could say this might be it, this might be that. Caesar, you guys have said a bunch of great stuff last week on the show. All those are accurate.
Yeah.
So it's really just us saying, maybe they didn't do it for this reason. But the most important thing is that anytime someone challenges a trademark or any kind of lawsuit like this, you could challenge it right back and say, hey, you should invalidate that.
Yeah.
And when you see some of these lawsuits, like Warren Lotus, for example, he didn't only just have the trade dress, which is what Yums is, as well as a lot of others, but he had an actual swoosh, and it sort of, said Nike on some of the other early models and stuff. So those are separate trademarks.
Yeah.
So when you have 2 and 3 and 4 trademarks stacking up, that might make the case easier, But but still, all it takes is one. So yeah, it's a tough question.
Right, because that's always been a question people have asked is, like you talk about the, you talk about Yums or even You got Kai right now, but people always reference Bape. Like, well, Nike didn't go after them, and it's like, in my mind, there had to be some legal reason because Nike's just not going to decide not to sue somebody, right? Like, it has to be some type of legal reason that they didn't.
Yeah, and again, I can't speak for what Nike's doing or any of these other companies or anything like that, but
right.
It's all about the trademarks. And I guess pivoting a little bit, using a different case as an example, Yeezy and the foams. In that situation with Yeezy and Walmart, it's sort of a little different because it's a marketplace and this and that. But if they had a trademark, or maybe even a patent, I don't think they have a patent unless something happened recently. You could bet that Yeezy probably would have sued Walmart for federal, some sort of federal trademark kind of thing,
right?
Because that's a little different force.
Right.
Instead, they did a state law claim in California. So when you have these trademarks, like Nike's trying to get and had for the Air Force One and has for many other things, it's just a different level of enforcement. So just having them, you could do a million different things. You could go to the International Trade Commission and ban imports and exports. You could go to Amazon and third-party websites, and it's just really good to have them.
Because Crocs is doing that now. Crocs is doing that now against, well, not against one specific person. I think it's like 21 lawsuits they have, but
exactly.
But no, going to the trade dress, because that was something that's been another big topic. Because Nike, it was a trade dress for the Air Jordan 1, which allows them to retroactively go back to like 1985, and I guess they could go after people from that date on. Am I saying that correctly?
I mean, sort of in a way, but there's no real like magic line,
Right.
They could have done anything, years ago to anybody, and they have. There's multiple people where, Nike's gone after for trade dress or multiple levels of trademark. But yeah, so that really doesn't really do anything. Once they get the federal thing, then those federal rights kick in, and they could bring you to federal court. They could have still brought anyone to court previously for, similar state claims or common law intellectual property rights that they would have just from using it.
Right. Okay. No, I mean, and it's because like I was getting into a debate with somebody today, and like I think you told me this, like even with the trademarks, or I don't know if it's something else, but like you can have a trademark for something that's strictly within apparel and fashion, and then somebody could have a similar trademark in a different category, and it all be kosher.
Yeah, exactly. You guys hit on it last week too. There's 45 different classes of trademarks. So you could have one for T-shirts, and it could be totally different for a bar of soap, and sneakers and footwear and apparel are in that same one, but there's millions of different other ones. So that's why it's very technical and very, very tricky. And in all these trademark things, it's not just holding one shoe against another. There's all these facts and analysis, and it's technical.
And this is why you should have Sneaker Law Firm behind you when you go file for a trademark. Like seriously though, because going through that process, it's cumbersome, it's tedious, it's monotonous, and it's like you see all these legalities and these words coming at you. And the one messed up part about it is you could file for something. If you don't file it correctly, you have to refile and have to pay that fee all over again. It's like, and so it's better just to go ahead and get a lawyer from jump, and just bite the bullet if you want to have it done correctly the first time and not have to keep doing it over and over and over again.
I like it. Thank you, Caesar. Unpaid plug. I'll take it. How much do I owe you guys?
$100,000. We're gonna sue you. But no, we're gonna get John. It's gonna be John versus Zach. But no, I appreciate you coming on though, to kind of clearing that up. I mean, first of all, it's cool that you even like listen to the show.
Appreciate that.
Had that feedback, and I definitely wanted you to. I've been wanting to get you on anyway, to talk about some of these legalities, because we got a couple of stories. Like I want to get to the Croc story. I probably get to that next week. But like I said, like having these types of conversations and these stories, because while it's cool to talk about, hey, here's our favorite shoes of the year so far, like that's cool. But there's other things going on that affect real people, and like I said, we could sit up here and give our opinions all day, but I like our opinions to kind of be fact based. And so having people like you, John, and others who are professionals, it definitely helps that conversation. Yeah, especially for our listeners, Yeah,
well, no problem. You guys are doing a great job. Like I said, I've been listening for a while, and even without the lawyers, I mean, you guys are usually right on point. So, keep it coming. If you ever have any questions for me, John, anyone, we're always here for you, because we're here to educate. And like you said, there's a lot going on in sneaker community with brands and and legal stuff that you don't even think about, and businesses and stuff. And there are people who are here to help you like us. So.
No, 100%. Thank you.
Appreciate
Once
it,
again, follow Zach at Sneaker Law Firm on Instagram. You got a Twitter too, or no?
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Sneaker Law Firm on Twitter as well.
Yeah, and like I said, if you got any like sneaker related legal questions, or if you're trying to start a business within the world of sneakers, that's definitely somebody you should talk to. And yeah, we'll be talking soon.
Exactly. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Take care. Peace.
No, I thought it was cool that he actually reached out. Like, it's cool when I have people. Like, it's cool just to hear people in
It
general.
ain't cool in here because I'm sweating.
Oh no, yeah. The headphones like more like earmuffs. But no,
Goodness.
but no, it's but it is cool. Like, it's cool whenever I hear somebody like stop me and say, "Hey, you know, listen to the show, love, blah blah blah." But like to have him respond, to have him
You saw the beads of sweat.
Yeah.
right. But no, to have him respond though, and like, you know, because he listened to the show and he wanted to get into the, you know, the legalities of different things. I thought it was cool. And like I said, I wanted to have him on the show. I've known Zach, you know, like for probably most of this year now. And so
Are we the only sneaker show with 2 lawyers?
definitely with 2.
Man.
You want to see that on Complex? No, I.
Okay. All that red shit.
All right, let's see. But no, man, because I don't want to sound arrogant, but at the same time,
Whoa, don't stop now, right?
no. But I'm just saying, like, you know, it's hard to try to be creative in this space because you feel like everything's been done. You know, you got 1 million YouTubers now. You know, everybody's doing sneaker reviews and stuff. You know, everybody's doing a sneaker show or a sneaker podcast now, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? But when you have competition and, you know, you're vying for everybody's eyeballs or for everybody's ears, you know, you try to come up with ways that you feel like you can be an asset to your listeners, right? And so that's one of the reasons why, like, I reached out to John and I reached out to Zach. It was like, okay, we talk about these legal situations all the time, and, you know, everybody has an opinion, and a lot of times people just be talking about their ass because, like, what sounds good to you is not fact, right? And so having these lawyers on, they can discuss the legalities of it, and we can involve them in those conversations. Works better for educating the community, ourselves, and our listeners. And so that was just one thing. I was happy I was able to do it. Like I said, I was not surprised to see everybody all of a sudden have the bright idea, like, hey, you know what, we should have lawyers to come and talk to. But I think, like I said, that just speaks to how competitively close this space is. And so maybe we should have trademarked that segment. We should have Zach trademark that. But no,
You can set it on the mic now, so
yeah,
kiss that one goodbye.
I know. We get the trade dress. But no, shout out to Zach. Shout out to John, obviously, for participating in that segment and enhancing it. Like, even on our Instagram and our YouTube, where I usually post that stuff, like, you know, usually I would have debates. Like any other thing, like the Space Jam 19s, everybody wants to argue that, right? But there's really no argument in those things because, like, we got a little lawyer sitting there discussing this with us. Like, argue with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know the law. This ain't what we think. This is what they know. Like, this is, you know. I mean, even then, you know, it could be debated, but they know more about the law than we do. So I lean on them. So on that note, it was what, episode 301.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can keep count now.
I know.
I know where
What's
we
the
at
cutoff?
now.
What are we going to 366? That's not the cutoff, but that's I think it's 366 or 367. Let's just make it 370, just because I just round up.
Why
So
don't
we
we just go
got
to 400?
69 episodes. I mean, yeah, we can go 400. Yeah. But I just want to beat OSD Live. Shout out to Sean and D, by the way. I just want to beat them. So hopefully, Woodward Sports keeps us around that long. I don't know. Stick and shake it. After those jokes at the night, nope. All right, so it's 301. Like I said, man, we appreciate everybody supporting us. We love y'all. We are out till next week.
Peace.
Peace.